Florida and Georgia. The faces. The emotions. And oh, the memories.
He's about to break Herschel Walker's record. We may have 15 hankies in the air on this one.
Kick is up, and it is good! Oh, my!
Touchdown, George Pickens!
Oh, my! What a marvelous run! Oh, my!
Stokes, he's going to take it to the house!
Touchdown to Kyle Pitts!
Who's touchdown!
Touchdown, Gators!
Touchdown! That's a Bennett! And with that, we bring you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. The annual border rivalry between the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs, both ranked in the top 10. The world's largest outdoor social distancing get-together is what we've got today in Jacksonville.
There you go.
But still, we'll have about 18,000 fans in here to watch these two teams play for either the 98th or 99th time. They can't even agree on that part. But what we do agree on a perennial basis, it seems that the top two teams are Georgia and Florida for so many years. That's the same story again today. And welcome to Jacksonville, everybody. I'm Brad Nussler. My partners Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl. You look at the top of the standings, you know that you win this game. You've got the driver's seat to the east and a trip to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. And Gary, they've been playing this thing since 1915. And I don't know if it's the year 2020 or whatever, but the stakes are high, and it seems like the anxiety's kind of high today.
It's always a great game. It's always a physical game. But this year, I think both teams look ahead of them. It's a schedule. They won't lose games. The winner of this game is going to be in Atlanta.
Well, Georgia has won 3 straight, but they got their hands full today because they face a Florida offense averaging 42 points a game.
Really is. This year, the offense and the quarterback position belongs to Florida, and they've got an offense with 3 key players. Let's start with the quarterback, Kyle Trask. He waited for his opportunity, and was he ready when he got it? 4 straight games of 4 touchdowns or more. There's a lot of good quarterback play going on in the league and around the country, Ness. No one's playing better than this guy. And today, he's going to use the weapons he has in front of him. Kadarius Toney is one of them. He has emerged. They lost 4 receivers from last year's team that are in the NFL, but Toney has replaced them very well. He is a weapon. And back, the tight end. Maybe the biggest mismatch in all of college football is Kyle Trask. I don't know if they can stop him. They just need to slow that Kyle Pitts down.
The Kyle-to-Kyle connection, that's been the big part. Georgia can hang their helmets on having the top defense in the SEC, but they're banged up.
They really are, and, they're going to lean on that defense to help an inexperienced quarterback. Look at it right there. They had a couple of guys that are usually run stoppers that might be important in a lot of games, but I think Richard LeCounte is the big loss in this football game. Nevertheless, they're still loaded on defense at all 3 levels. They're going to affect the quarterback from that defensive line position. They've got to put pressure on Kyle Trask. Their linebackers are great blitzers and make things happen. And the secondary, they've got 4 and 5 stars across the board. And they all are going to have to step up and help their young quarterback. He struggled a little bit lately. The last 6 quarters have not been good. I got to believe he's dying to get out and play this football game.
It's a dream for him even to be starting in this game. Can he play better than he has the last couple of weeks? Georgia hopes so. Here come the Gators. Here comes Georgia. Kickoff next. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, USAA, Taco Bell, and by the Home Depot. Number 8, Florida. Number 5, Georgia. And before we head to the kick, we head to the third member of our team, Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Next man up never meant so much, Brad, than to the Georgia defense today. You mentioned the onslaught of injuries they've suffered over the last week. Maybe most surprising was the news that veteran defensive back, Richard LeCount, was involved in a car accident Saturday night in Athens, returning from a game, maybe one of the best in his career, being named SEC Defensive Player of the Week. LeCount was driving a motorcycle dirt bike. He was struck by 2 cars, hospitalized in Athens until Tuesday night. He was released. He was been on the campus back at Georgia receiving treatment the rest of the week. I spoke with Kirby Smart when he arrived at the stadium. I asked, is LeCount going to return this season? He said, we're hopeful. However, his timeline is 4 to 5 weeks. Most seriously, he's dealing with bruising in that rib and lung area. I did exchange messages with Richard LeCount today. He said he's feeling good. He's at home in Riceboro, Georgia. He'll return to the team in Athens tomorrow, but he messaged the guys. He's excited to see what they can do today.
Thanks, Jamie. One of our favorite players, Richard, and we hope you get better fast, pal, and get back out on the field. Kirby Smart hasn't lost to Dan Mullen so far. Florida won the toss and deferred, so Georgia will have the football first. 70 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. Perfect day for football, though, in Jacksonville. A little sticky, but that's to be expected. We'll call it the 99th meeting. The reason I said that it's neither 98 or 99, they can't agree on whether or not the 1915 game counted. Georgia won that 37-0. That's why Florida doesn't really like to count that one. But Georgia leads the series. They've won 3 straight. This has been the home to this series in Jacksonville since 1933.
Well, we will see if Georgia can handle the loss of a key defensive player in the secondary as well as Florida did a week ago when they had 3 players out and stepped up big. So it is like Jamie said, next man up. Sometimes you got to take over.
Guy that also didn't play last week, Evan McPherson tees it up. Kearis Jackson drops back deep for Georgia. And Stetson Bennett, the 4th, warming up on the sideline as Georgia will get the football first. Who's going to win the East? Whoever wins this one's got the inside track. And Georgia will work from the 25-yard line. So enter Stetson Bennett, the 4th. Played so well early, and then from about halftime of the Alabama game that we did until now, things have been a little bit shaky here.
It has, and you know, in that second half against Alabama, he did have to do a little bit too much, especially against a good Alabama team on the road. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks struggle, but if they keep it within the game plan, I think he'll be okay. When he gets out of it, he starts doing a bunch of stuff, he struggles.
Might want to lean on Zamir White, who came.
That'd be the plan.
Yeah, the career high 136 on the ground. He does not start in the backfield, however. Kendall Milton's in there. Georgia's got 3 tight ends. And they do have Zamir in there, too, so a full house backfield. And here is Zamir White. And Zamir White down the sideline might have a touchdown of 75 yards. Georgia leads 6-0. Whoa, what a way to start things off.
Well, somebody has to get from Florida on the outside of the formation and turn it back in, and nobody did. Right here, I think the safety, Brad Stewart, number 2, has to get outside, turned in by the corner, but that's too far out, too big of a gash. A nice shift, and give that formation change when they shifted, as Brad said, with 3 tight ends. Florida wasn't ready for it. Todd Monken with a great scheme for a start of a football game.
Wow. Career-long run for Zamir White, 75-yard touchdown.
All right, so if you're right here, you're the safety or you're the corner, somebody has to get outside of that to help for the rest of the defense. Moon gets turned in, Brad Stewart gets caught in traffic, and Zamir White is off to the races.
And what did Todd Grantham tell us yesterday? Moon and Cox have to set the edges, and they didn't set the edge very well.
I think the formation confused Moon, though. He had 3 tight ends, and he goes, okay, which one do you want me to set, Coach? Because I haven't seen this one before.
Our AT&T 5G pylon cam shows you Zamir White just trotting in behind. And here's another look from the blimp.
I bet he's going to cut in right there. Yeah, he did. You know, sometimes you give it to great blocking. Sometimes it's a play goal. Sometimes you just scheme it up, and you got the right scheme going, and you got to give that one to the coaching staff for Georgia.
So
they had something in the bag, and they were ready.
On the first play that lasted All of 12 seconds for the guy they call Zeus right there. Zamir White, his 7th rushing touchdown. And as I mentioned, by far the longest of his Georgia career.
It's always funny. You come into these games and go, okay, third down. Third down's the game. Third down's the game. Maybe it's first down.
Maybe first, yeah. Maybe the first play. Jake Camarda to kick off for Georgia. And Florida now will work, trailing by a touchdown in the opening 12 seconds from their 25-yard line. And that means Kyle Trask, who we talked about just a couple of minutes ago. Impressive numbers, 18 touchdown passes in the first 4 games, which is an SEC record. And here's the rest of the lineup that joins him. Now you worry about Pitts, you worry about Kadarius Toney, and don't forget about this guy. If you try to double team on one side, he's not too shabby either, Trayvon Grimes.
Well, the last 2 years, Dan Mullen has started with a flea flicker and a slant to Pitts. Let's see what he deals up this time.
A handoff and a 3-yard pickup for Dameon Pierce. Set the defense for you for the Georgia Bulldogs, the #1 defense in the conference. Jalen Carter in there for Jordan Davis. And on the back end, the guy that's got to take Richard LeCounte's spot and call a lot of the signals is Chris Smith. Second down, a long 6. Kyle Trask flushed out of the pocket. On the run. Can't find anybody. Tries to go short. It's incomplete. Nice coverage by Mark Webb. He just couldn't find anybody open.
Well, Jacob Copeland was number 15, the Florida receiver in that area, and he turned around and looked and said, was he grabbing me or not? And the official said he was not. So third down, and third down has been a problem for the Gators in this game. The last 2 years, first of all, they've only had 18 attempts in 2 years, and they're only 6 for 18. Yep. They can't keep the ball.
You see their last 3 meetings, 28%. They've got to get 6.5 here. With Trask in empty backfield. Georgia with a stunt up front. The pass is broken up, knocked away by Lewis Seen. Seen, who was a little banged up coming out of the Kentucky game, and he makes a big play on third down.
And Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, even though it's a 3-man line, he dials a 5-man blitz, bringing 2 inside backers. Really good coverage of the outside of that play. That's a matchup that Georgia would like. Seen on a running back. No real worries for Seen on that play.
Jacob Finn to punt for Florida. Kearis Jackson waits back around the 20 for Georgia. Not a good punt unless he gets a good roll, and he might. On the bounce, Jackson takes it at the 30. Broke 1 tackle, got about 6 on the return.
Jackson is really good at that, saving yards on those short punts.
Yep. Georgia will have excellent field position to start things off. Zamir White started this one off with a bang, a 75-yard bang. 7-0 Georgia, and the Dogs on offense when we come back. A 7-0 lead for Georgia early. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always-on sports news network. For highlights, breaking news, and expert picks, download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. So Georgia with a touchdown lead, and their second possession starts at their own 39-yard line.
And when does Monk and the play caller say, all right, I'm going to play action and show that we can throw deep as well?
Zamir White switches sides with Stetson Bennett in the Georgia backfield. High snap on the rollout. It's a keeper all the way for Bennett. He's got good wheels, and he's got about 12 yards in the Georgia first down.
How do you get your quarterback comfortable? Well, one way is a 75-yard touchdown run. The second way is give him the ball. Let him run a little bit. So right now, you can tell that this Florida defense is off balance.
Let him get a little lather up as you look at the Gator defense. Brenton Cox, a former Georgia player. He's been waiting 1.5 years for an opportunity to play in the Florida orange and blue. He's got his chance now. But his defense is back in their own territory at the 49 with a Georgia first down. Zamir White hit at the line of scrimmage. Nice job that time to bring him down. No gain. Florida, remember, because of the altercation last week with Missouri, Zach Carter suspended for the first half today, as is Powell. They'll be back at halftime. Dan Mullen lost a pretty good amount of change last week for That skirmish that started at halftime and then continued basically throughout the second half. They gave Zamir White a yard. 2nd down and 9.
5-man front here with Moon and Cox at the defensive end spot.
James Cook out of the backfield makes the grab, and Cook's got a first down before he's run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. He's becoming a weapon as a receiver big time.
Sure is. A little bit of everything. Brenton Cox had an opportunity to bat this ball down coming off the right side. See number 1 right there? He gets upfield, but this time Bennett avoids the pass broken up and gets a positive play. Another first down.
Getting your quarterback comfortable. Like you said, lather him up with a run. He gets a nice pass there for a first down as he settles in and Georgia settles in at the Gator 35. Bennett out to Milton, and that one's broken up, incomplete. Nice job by Brad Stewart.
So far it's been quick throws when he's having an opportunity. No hands up in his face, and just well defended by Florida. It had to be too perfect of a pass.
Yep. Stewart led Florida in tackles last week in the win over Missouri. Nice pass break up there, forces 2nd down and 10.
Here's that 5-man front again for the Gators. 3 inside with the 2 edge rushers.
James Cook straight up the middle. Got about 3. Stetson Bennett, who was not expected to be the starting quarterback. I'm sure all of you know the story. Fast start, and in the last 6 quarters, things have not gone so well.
There's a good timeout by Dan Mullen right there. They were going to get a 5-yard penalty. They had 12 men on the field, and Mullen saw it. They did not get their last player off the field, and he saved it.
So we'll see Georgia with a 3rd and 7 after this timeout. We'll be right back. Now it's time to do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot, Gary.
You know how these coaches stay in the offices till midnight? This is the stuff they work on. 3 tight ends, 1, 2, 3, and watch the tackle. Salyer pull around. He's really got nobody to block out there. His coach told me there'd be somebody there. There was nobody there.
And Zamir White smartly goes 75 yards for the touchdown. 3rd down at 7, following the Florida timeout. Bennett down the middle. On the run to Marcus Rosemy St. John, and he's got the touchdown. Hurt at the end, I think.
Maybe the receiver and the quarterback took one. It was a late, disguised safety blitz. He was free for Florida, but he didn't get there. He was so deep on the play, he never got there. That was the breakdown. Coming from the backside, right in, too late to get there from the slot. Free run at the quarterback, Bennett, but Rosemary Jack Saint for the touchdown.
And that did not look good at the end of that at all. I don't think we want to show this more than one more time. It's a touchdown. And right there, things are not going in the right direction.
No. Worked so hard to get an opportunity. Marcus getting an opportunity to make a big play, and
Rosemary Jack Saint, a freshman, true freshman out of Florida, Pompano Beach.
Been getting a little bit more playing time, especially with the injury to Pickens, and I think that's a touchdown. That ball's across the line when his knee hit the ground.
And way more importantly is what happened at the end of that play, and you can see training staffs out there from both teams. The stretcher immediately comes out. It's going to be an air cast put on that ankle, and oh man, we'll take a timeout. And again, the concern around Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint, the freshman, injured on the play. We're not going to show any more replays of the end of that play, but we do have Gene Steratore with us, and Gene, we're just going to do it without replays. You saw enough of it, in your opinion. The call on the field was Georgia touchdown. What do you think, Gene?
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
Tight,
the previous play is under review.
Yeah, they will look at this. It's really tight. His right shin appears to be down just before the nose of the football breaks the goal line, but it is very tight.
I can't believe that the look on his face. He's a tough dude, man, after that landing in the end zone. And there's a good look at him, and you saw him out being taken to the Georgia locker room, and I'm sure to a local hospital from that point on.
Well, if you're a Georgia football team, Kirby has to do a good job. The team was obviously ready to play. They've scored 2 touchdowns. Maybe not. Maybe they're just short of the goal line. But now they've seen one of their fellow players, like that. They saw it, and it's on the replay boards here, by the way. Yeah. Even though we're not showing it, the team on the sideline can see the play. It's still being shown locally here.
Jamie?
You said looking at Marcus's face, one tough dude as he got carted off. Well, he was looking at that replay and he pointed right at it and said, "That's a touchdown, man."
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Indeed it is.
Gene, I'm just going to say one thing is in this type of thing, and I know the injury doesn't count, but tie kind of goes to the runner here, doesn't it? I mean, it's so close, and it was called a touchdown. Wide open on the play. Florida tries to zone blitz. And the free rusher gets there just too late. It was a big hit on Bennett as well.
Bud Leslie in for the point after. Up and good. Georgia has run 7 plays, and they lead Florida 14-0.
Yeah, he took one right on that shoulder when he threw that ball. You could see it. He winced after he got up. Now, how good is it?
Trying to work it out a little bit. And they're going to check him as well. As you see one more look at the hit after he delivered the pass.
And Ness, you never know about these. Okay, some of them it's a sting and it goes away, and then I've had some where it just keeps getting worse. And then all of a sudden you can't really lift your arm up. Playing the guitar a little bit for the touchdown. Exactly.
The strings were a little tight on that.
That's right.
Banjo.
And sometimes it just doesn't get better. And you don't know at first. You go, okay, it'll loosen up. I'm not coming out of the game, and it doesn't. So Florida on the 3rd down again comes back to haunt them. 4 out of the 5 touchdown passes that Jake Fromm threw against these guys were on 3rd down, and Bennett comes back and gives them one this year for good measure.
Florida's had the ball 3 snaps and a punt. Georgia just over 3 minutes into the game with a 14-point lead. And they'll bring it out to the 25. Tomorrow, it's an NFL on CBS doubleheader. Early games, you see. Ravens and Colts. Jim, Tony, and Tracy will have the Steelers and Cowboys at 4:25. All starts with JB and the guys on the NFL Today at noon Eastern. Tomorrow on CBS.
Ness, a 3rd straight year that Florida's fallen behind in this game. It was 10-0 the last 2 years, and now 14-0 against a really good defense. We'll see. Not going to be easy.
3 plays, 3 yards. Down 14. Trask. Deep sideline toss. Got his man, but he dropped it. Incomplete.
And that's a great fight right there by Mark Webb. Sometimes you're going to get beat, and we saw it last week with Stingley. Keep fighting. The ball was dropped on this one, but Webb kept going with the play. Trask's going to take one of those hits. That time it was inside Malik Herring. And that's what I would kind of underline if I'm Georgia. Remember, Dan got so upset with that hit on Kyle Trask?
Right.
The best way to help the pass defense, keep hitting the other quarterback legally, but keep hitting him.
Trask is 0 for 3. 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground this time. Pierce reverses his field. Nice run. 1st down out across the 35.
Yeah, busted play right here. Defended well by the Georgia defense. Turned back, and
Sky just opened up.
It did. Pierce goes, nothing. And this is just an athletic play. Helped by Trask a little bit right there with the block.
It looked like there were shadows and sunshine. It just went away in a hurry. A downpour in Jacksonville. But the first down for the Gators. Gators usually like wet weather. At least the real Gators. We'll see if Florida Gators do on a 1st down at the 35. Pierce again. Cuts it outside. Nice run. 6-yard pickup. Florida doesn't run for a lot of yardage overall, but per carry, they do a nice job on the ground.
Yeah, but it can't be as bad as it was last year. As you look at a good shot of the rain right there. Last year, it was pathetic. This year, they got to at least help out the passing game, especially as Ness pointed out, the rain here. It's not easy to throw into the wind and into the rain.
Last year, they had 21 yards on 19 carries.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. There's their national ranking, though, coming in. High-powered offense, playing in a downpour. Going to be a rainbow somewhere because the sun is trying to come back out while the rain drops. So does Kyle Trask, and the throw's on the money. Down the sideline, zipper. And a big play for the Gators.
Well, this time with Kyle Pitts over there, he gets a lot of attention, and then you just slip it out. Oh, kind of just pushed right off right there. Got away with one. Ran right through the defensive scene that time and down the sideline. Big play.
39 yards.
Yeah, points here, even holding on the ball, is big for the Gators. Get this into a comfortable, kind of a regular game for them now.
Right. Right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
So look at this. 3 receivers over there and only 1 Georgia defender. Now they shift over to another one.
Trask looks that way, throws short. Kind of a slow toss out there to Whittemore.
So we talked to Coach Kirby Smart as you look down on the rainbow right
Told
there.
you
That's
there'd be
pretty
one
cool.
someplace.
Yeah. And we asked about LeCount not being out there, who makes the calls, and he said, I'm comfortable with Christopher Smith. He does a good job of it. We're going to miss LeCount the way athletically, but he thinks that number 29 Smith will be able to handle the adjustments.
It was an interesting conversation, really. When you consider LeCount's considered an All-American. Physically, LeCount, he said, is better than Smith, but Smith's a smart guy, and he can make the calls. 2nd down and 9. Pierce does a nice job to make the first guy miss. Seen had a hand on him. He's brought down after a nice pickup, and Florida's going hurry up here.
They're hurrying up for an important 3rd and 4 here.
Need to get to the 10-yard line to try to keep this stride moving.
It keeps the defense on the field at Georgia. They're not able to substitute their dime packages. That's what they're trying to do for Florida right here. Let's see if it works for them.
Pitts is up to the top of your screen on 3rd down and 4. Trask in trouble. Lofts one across the middle. Got it on the run. Got it to Shorter for the touchdown. Justin Shorter scores for the Gators.
So interesting, when I told you they opened up the game last year with the slant to Pitts. This is the same exact formation. They're going to motion away from Pitts to run the slant, but this time Kyle Trask says, no, I think you're waiting for it. I'm coming back the other direction and making the throw to Shorter.
Shorter's 2nd touchdown of the year, and certainly one the Gators needed. McPherson in for the point after. Snaps a little high. They got the hold down, and the kick is up and good.
Ness, all the way from the start there, Florida looked like they were going to go fast. They kept the Georgia defense out there. Then they slowed down and made the right call for the big conversion and touchdown.
(14-7). Florida with a big answer after Georgia led by 2 touchdowns.
All right, we're talking about communication in the secondary. Look at the late shift out of here. Georgia is a bit confused, and when Florida crisscrosses, Webb is late on the play. No one really covers Shorter, but Florida's still fortunate to get it off because Malik Herring almost knocks the ball out of Kyle Trask's hand. Watch this. Knocks it out, and Trask doesn't even have the laces, jumps up, and makes the touchdown throw.
Boy, that was a heads-up play by the quarterback. His 19th touchdown pass of the year.
And one more thing about that drive. That was 7 plays for 75 yards. 3 of them running plays. 3 good running plays by Florida. That is good news for the Florida offense.
Damian Pierce with those runs. So McPherson to kick. Kearis Jackson about a half-yard deep, and Kearis Jackson into Florida territory all the way out. Let's see where they mark it at about the 43-yard line.
Well, I hope television showed how Jackson saw the hole and accelerated right there. You know, a lot of times those kickoff guys are looking for something coming right at you. He starts out, and then right about there, he goes, oh, and he splits it and almost takes it.
57-yard kickoff return for Kearis Jackson.
Yeah, he's in his big stride right there. Those are long strides, and he thinks he can go all the way on that one.
Got a gator down way back at the 27-yard line. With 8-11. We don't need to see too much more of this, do we?
No.
Dameon Pierce trying to shake off the injury on that kickoff coverage as he got tangled up right there and actually got hit by his own guy.
Yeah, I think it was Rashad Torrance, number 22, that hit him.
Meanwhile, Georgia's back in Florida territory after a great kickoff return by Kearis Jackson at the 44. Here's number 4, James Cook, for about 3. You know, that tackle was made by Justin Shorter, the wide receiver, on the special teams, or it would have been a touchdown on the kick return.
Yeah, that's pretty good back-to-back plays, huh? Score 6 and save 6.
Exactly. The first 2 possessions for Georgia, you can't even draw it up like that in a dream. 94 rushing yards already, and 75 of that was Zamir White on the opening snap of the ball game. Second down and 7. Bennett fires incomplete. Nice job defensively. Jalen Johnson was the intended receiver. And now we'll start to watch Bennett. He's still working that arm, Gary.
Yes,
Even
he is.
after he throws, he's kind of still loosening it up or trying
Been there. You go, just keep me out there, Coach. And it's one of the things that you can always go, let me keep throwing, Coach, so I can keep it warm. We weren't going to let you throw anyway, Gary, you know. So keep it warm on your own.
He's still rubbing that thing underneath his pads, too.
I think he felt it when he actually cut that ball loose that time. Now remember, one of the reasons he's in there is he manages the whole offense, all the checkoffs, getting him in the right formation. So he's an important player besides throwing the ball.
And now he's going to have to cover the ball if he can. They came with an all-out blitz. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, but he just drops the snap here. This was a good snap. We've seen bad snaps, but this was a perfect snap, and he's fortunate he's able to get it before he was tackled by Dunlap.
And he didn't need to take another hit.
No,
either,
he didn't, but you got to get the ball.
Yeah, right. That time he goes down head first. Jake Camarda will come out to punt. So what started as a drive in Florida territory ends with a 2 or 3 yard loss before they have to kick. Top punter in the SEC, Camarda. This one's going to make it to the end zone.
You never know. You kick one of those end over end, you think it's going to back up, hits the wrong way, topples forward.
Florida gets it back as they'll come out to the 20-yard line. Gives us a chance to remind you, Thursday, new season of Young Shelton's underway, and there's a lot happening in the Cooper family. Gather the family together for a new episode this Thursday night at 8/7 Central on CBS. Talk about a lot happening. We got a lot happening here in Jacksonville, and we've only made it through the midway point of the first quarter.
Well, one of the things you know in modern college football, you see it every Saturday. You've been seeing it for the last couple of years. If you got a quarterback, you're never out of a game.
This one's pretty good. More than pretty good. Fakes the handoff to Davis. Goes right back to him over the middle. Malik Davis, who's in there for Pierce, who got hurt on that kick coverage. So the first time Davis touches it, he's got a nice gain.
If you were going to ask me, one of the carryovers of the Steve Spurrier offense to this offense is the ability to get the ball to the running backs. Remember the days with Spurrier when he'd do that play action, check it down to those running backs? That's exactly what Dan has kept in the offense. I wonder if he just calls that Spurrier right, Spurrier left.
They haven't got it in Kadarius Toney's hands yet today. They'll keep it on the ground at Davis. He's got a first down up to the 32 at the 6-minute mark. So Malik Davis comes in for Dameon Pierce, catches one across the middle, and then runs for one on a first down.
You know, without Richard LeCount, that means that more is going to fall on Monty Rice, number 32, to make the adjustments with the shifts in the motion. Monty is an experienced football player, a good football player, but somebody on the shift in motion game has to change the leverage of the defense.
First down, throw out to Toney. And did his knee go down? I don't know. Monty Rice is going to make the play, though. The guy Gary was just talking about. That's not easy to keep that guy down and make the tackle in open space.
Well, he's got a bad foot, and he barely practices. He wears a boot for most of the week, so he doesn't put, any more harm to that foot. But this time he's got a fast guy and you got a linebacker on one of the most elusive players in college football, and he makes the play. Good defense. You saw Monty on that play. He was shifted the defense, turning around to the secondary, and still did his job.
That's a lot on one play.
That's a lot on one play.
Loss of 4, second down at 14. Trask down the sideline, got it to Davis. First down as he slides into Georgia territory.
You know what you have sometimes? You just have what you call a winning throw. They can be good coverage. You can have the right defense on, but your throw is just better than their defense. And when you put the ball in those positions like that, you can score a lot of points at any level. That's what I say. There's a lot of good quarterbacking going on in the country, but none any better than Kyle Trask. They may tie him, but not better.
A perfect throw, a 22-yard pickup, and now back to the ground at about a 5-yard gain for Naquan Wright in there, the third tailback for Florida.
Yeah, and Bennett's, did he go to the tent or did he go inside? But you can tell that thing is still bothering him. I think he's going to go into the locker room.
Let's go to Jamie.
He did pop into the tent, guys, but now he is jogging to the locker room. He seems most aggravated by his collarbone, if I had to say anything.
Tony brought down, gain of 1, and a nice play by Tyreek Stevenson. As you see the Georgia starting quarterback still even moving his neck side to side as he heads to the locker room. And that will mean that either JT Daniels or Dwan Mathis. And Mathis warming up, so is Daniels. Those two guys going to be one of those, it appears, the next time Georgia has the football. Meanwhile, Florida, another drive going, third down at 4 in Georgia territory.
Third down is the big down. Can Florida start winning this down? They've been making 1 out of 3 the last 2 years against this Georgia defense. They need to do better.
They'll keep it on the ground, and they'll get the first down, so they don't run as much as they throw, but they're running effectively right now.
So give this one to that offensive line for Florida. Passing situation, you follow inside Reese. Get in there, good blocking up front against an active defensive line, and Kyle Trask knew it when he got it. He turned around to the bench and went, yes.
Malik Davis back in there at tailback at the Georgia 39. Tony in motion. They fake it to both of them, and deep on the sideline for Pitts, and he makes a catch. Kyle Pitts, first and goal, Florida.
Okay, sometimes they're just winning throws, and sometimes they're just guys that are too good for this league. And this guy is a matchup nightmare. Goes up, he's 6'6". He stops and he adjusts the ball. He's got tremendous confidence. And when you're the quarterback, and Kirby had the elevation, but Stevenson did not. If you can see in the background, Kirby did his vertical about 30 inches. But Stevenson in coverage did not.
Got a timeout with 2:25. Kyle Trask trying to get the crowd fired up, and they answer in kind. About 9,000 of them. Each team got about 9,000 tickets for this. I don't think Kirby jumped this high when he was all SEC as a player at Georgia. No way, ever. Trust me. First and goal, Florida, when we come back. Not many teams are perfect in the red zone. Florida is so far. 22 of 22. 17 of those touchdowns. They're looking for another one right here. First and goal at the 5.
And Georgia's not giving up a touchdown, but everybody inside the 20 has scored against them.
The throw to the end zone is broken up. Intended for Copeland, and Eric Stokes got a hand on it.
I will say this. The officials are letting the man coverage players in the secondary be physical. Watch Stokes on Copeland. He's got his hands on him. They're letting him play that. I think that's a pretty good call,
Yep.
to tell you the truth. If you can't do that, I don't know how you can cover. Unless you got that Kirby vertical at the end.
Second down and goal. Damian Pierce is back in there. They fake it to him. Trask is going to try to do it himself, and the big guy goes inside the 3.
It's the quarterback counter. Florida and Mississippi State, and Dan Mullen has been running this, but it was with Dak Prescott and Tim Tebow, not Kyle Trask.
Just under 2 minutes to play in the quarter, and we've had a lot of fireworks. 11th play of the drive from the Georgia 2. Pierce straight up the middle. Touchdown Gators. We're an extra point away from a tie game in Jacksonville.
Well, you got to believe that Georgia defense is looking all over. Where's 84? Where's number 1? And all of a sudden, while they're looking around, boom, they're running right at you, and they make the touchdown. Good call. Georgia on defense trying to stop them. Some athletic plays. They haven't been able to do it. Some pass plays. But Florida continues to be willing to run the ball. They have not given up on the running game.
McPherson in for the point after.
You're telling me Florida wouldn't take in the first quarter 9 rushes for 46 yards? That's a huge win for them.
Remember, a team that rushes for more yards than this one has won 14 straight games. Both teams running the ball pretty well. This is Dameon Pierce, his second touchdown rush of the year, and it's tied things up in Jacksonville. Dameon Pierce over there on the sideline saying, "Coach, don't put me in on kick coverage, really. Give me a break."
What do you got to do to get off special teams?
He might be still going out there. Didn't have his helmet on, but I think he will join the group. Or he's telling the guy that's going to take his place, here's what you do. Just don't get run over by your own guy.
All right.
Most combined points in a first quarter, and we still got a couple minutes left in the first quarter. Since 42. So 14-point lead for Georgia dissipates in a hurry. Back-to-back touchdowns by the Gators. McPherson's kick. And this time, Kearis Jackson had to let this one go.
So they started out, things are going well for Stetson. He has a couple of runs, but on this touchdown throw, the free safety is running right at him off the slot. He doesn't realize how bad it is at first, but then he says, I got it kind of jammed there, and the more he threw, the more he felt it.
Jamie?
I wanted to add on that, Gary, that you're right. As he stood on the sideline, people started to tend to that injury. It did seem to get worse. He popped into the tent. Like I said, several trainers have come in and out of the locker room now. Stetson, still no sign of him.
And, of course, Georgia fans have been asking for a week and a half. If Bennett doesn't do it, who's next in line? JT Daniels or DeJuan Mathis? The question has been answered. Here's Burton on an end around. He's going to lose a yard, maybe 2. So
we've seen that play. We've done 3 Georgia games. This is the 3rd time we've seen this reverse play. One went big. The next one went for about 15 yards, and this one was stopped by the Florida defense. Unbalanced line with the reverse to Burton.
So DeJuan Mathis, who started the season as Georgia's starting quarterback, struggled rather badly against Arkansas, and that brought Stetson Bennett in to take over to save the day there. And now it's DeJuan Mathis at the controls on a 2nd down and 11. And try it again. And this time he broke a tackle, still going. It'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, but I think Brenton Cox is down on the field. Another injury on the field, and it's Cox.
Oh boy.
A transfer from Georgia.
Actually started the bowl game against Texas a year and a half ago. Had to sit out last year on the transfer. Has been licking his chops to play against his old team. And he just tried to make that tackle and kind of leg whipped himself.
And I wonder if his knee came down on that play as he turned upfield for Burton. Apparently not. Good balance.
3rd down and a yard here. Again, Georgia with their backup quarterback in there. Redshirt freshman out of Belleville, Michigan. 3rd and short. They got everybody packed in tight. And now James Cook whistles more before the snap.
The previous play is under review to determine whether the runner's knee was down prior to being tackled.
Yeah, I kind of thought I saw his knee skim against the ground on that play. Maybe even a little bit of that wet turf come up.
There's Burton putting the brakes on. There you go, right there, huh?
Maybe not, though. I don't know.
If so, it's going to be at the 28-yard line.
Remember, it was called a good play. I don't see.
Yeah, I think you called it here.
You could call him down right there. I thought his knee skimmed the grass.
That would be the 28-yard line, which would make it 3rd down at about 7 instead of 3rd and 1.
That's a big difference for a backup quarterback
You're not
being
kidding.
in the game.
Yeah.
On your own, 30-yard line, do you trust a guy, that's coming into the game to throw right here? 3rd and 1 is something you can do anything, but 3rd and 6 or 7, what do you do? It's a big call from replay.
Gene, did you see enough on those replays that we had?
Yeah, Brad, I think that the left knee was fine. It looks like the right knee, though, as he slid and started to move forward, that the right shin, right knee hit the ground at around the 28, as you said.
David Allman is our replay official. James Carter is still taking a look at it down around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I kind of did think I saw it, but he popped up so fast, so athletically on the play that I wasn't sure, but...
There's the whoop.
Yeah, I think shin and knee is one thing I've learned a lot from Gene, but one is to look at the shin too, not just the knee.
After review, it was determined that the runner was down at the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down from that spot.
And Stetson Bennett grabbing his helmet as he's come out of the Georgia locker room and still working that right arm and shoulder.
Before I'd let him in the game, I'd say, let me see you throw a few here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, whatever happened in there, you might feel good, but I want to see you throw a few before I put you in the game. Throw a few on the sideline for me.
And do you let Juwan Mathis throw one right here?
If it is, it's got to be very safe or very long. I don't think in between I would chance it if it was me calling plays.
It's quick, and it's complete, and Jackson's not going to get the first down. Here's Jackson, about 2 yards shy of the first.
It was a big tackle by Sean Davis that time. Those one-on-one tackles against good athletes, and Davis made the play. Bubble screen, you got to fight upfield, make that play, and he does.
Davis, one of those guys that did not play last week in the win over Missouri, and as Gary said, great open field tackle on maybe the most dangerous receiver Georgia has at its disposal right now, with George Pickens not having made the trip. Another punt coming up from Jake Camarda. And the corner might close before Jake hits that one. End of one. If you expected a low-scoring game, you got the wrong channel. End of one, 14-14. We'll return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. Home Depot SEC on CBS as we head into quarter number 2 between 8th-ranked Florida and number 5 Georgia. And Jake Camarda, second straight 3-and-out for Georgia, will punt it away. Kadarius Toney is the guy he'd like to keep it out of the hands of on the other end for Florida. And he has to make the fair catch around the 15-yard line. Welcome back, Brad and Gary. Jamie's down on the field. A lot happening in that first quarter, man.
Georgia, in 10 plays, they're up 14-0.
Right.
Okay, so Florida hangs in there. Kyle Trask was Kyle Trask. He's 8 for 12. It's about what he is. But the running game, a little bit of help. I think that's the difference in the football game.
And we had a Georgia receiver go down to a gruesome injury, a guy that was filling in for George Pickens. That got Georgia the 14-point lead. Gators come right back, score twice, and now they've got the ball back in a tie game.
And we still have question marks about Georgia's quarterback.
Exactly. There's the last 3 possessions. There's a 3-and-out, and then a 7-and-7. Trask throws out to Toney as we check in with Jamie, who's been busy on the injury front.
Yeah, been up the Georgia tunnel most of the first quarter. Stetson Bennett at a dead run out of that tunnel. He's throwing now on the sideline, trying to show. He's nodded at everybody who's checked on him as if he wants to return. As you mentioned, Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint, he is still at the stadium. There was a chance he was going to be ambulanced out, but he is still here. And Jermaine Burton did go to the locker room, another freshman wide receiver. He's back on the field.
Thanks, Jimmy. Here's Damian Pierce, who was shaken up at 1.2, but came back in to score a 2-yard touchdown the last time he touched it, a 2-yard gain that time, and it's 3rd down for Florida. Started 0 for 3, 90% since for Kyle Trask.
So Georgia always has to find where 84 is.
And he's set up on the right side right now.
Right in the tight end position right there. And go from there.
And then number 1 who goes that way with him, Toney, Trask a little uneasy, but he got it complete to Shorter, who has a touchdown catch. This time he's got a first down.
Excuse me, Brad. He wanted to go to Pitts, but Georgia said, we know you want to go to Pitts. And they covered him. Watch the coverage. They're going to crisscross right in there. One player goes there, and a lot of traffic. 2 Georgia players covering 84.
He did have that big catch to get him down to the 5-yard line. They scored the touchdown after that. First down now at the 27. Davis.
Oh, look at that defense.
That draw didn't scare anybody.
Yep.
Let's go to Adam Zucker, New York studio with a Jeep update. Zuck.
All right, Ness, our old buddy Talia Tagovailoa with a couple of touchdown passes. And then it's Jake Funk going for a 38-yard run right through the Penn State defense. 21-0 Terps. Penn State at risk of starting 0-3.
Wow. What's with that conference? Michigan, IU, the Terps against Penn State.
Watch that Funk kid again.
Yes.
Was it Minnesota last Friday?
Ran for 200 yards.
He was all over the place. Whoa! There's a wicked hit at the line of scrimmage. Loeb put it on Malik Davis.
So now we're back to third down as you see that Georgia tries to get their package in. Florida goes fast.
Trask on 3rd and 10, and it is intercepted. Picked off Eric Stokes for Georgia. Coming back the other way, and he's got a convoy. Stokes, touchdown Georgia. A ball intended for Xavier Henderson, and Eric Stokes with his 3rd interception of the year, his 2nd touchdown return of the year.
I don't know if it was who it was intended to, but watch Stokes come off his man. He's on Xavier Henderson. I think he's throwing it to Tony, and he actually goes and picks it off. Sometimes when you go fast, you're not ready. And I didn't think Florida was ready. They didn't have a good read on what Georgia was doing. Trask let it go. He never really saw the defense in front of him.
Extra point is up and good. Georgia strikes again. This time it's their top-ranked defense.
Xavier Henderson took Stokes right into the throwing lane. The true freshman receiver did not know the play, and it came back and bit him.
Eric Stokes had a 30-yard pick 6 against Arkansas. He's got a 36-yard pick 6 against Florida. 21-14. Georgia and Florida playing to see who's the best in the business in the SEC East, and Georgia's just regained the lead.
Ness, we're going to take one more look at it after the kickoff, unless there's a touchdown here. But there are routes, which is an individual thing. Then there are patterns, which the whole group has to run a pattern. Remember, this was a hurry-up, and Xavier Henderson, a true freshman football player, is on the outside here on a hurry-up play. Watch him bring his man in on the play. And then right at the end of the play, Trask, as he throws it, you could see in his vision he thinks he has a completion, but he does not see Stokes coming in on the play. One other player for Florida was brought in to intercept the pass. That was a bad pattern that caused the interception, and the athletic Stokes takes it and makes Florida pay.
Stokes' 2nd touchdown return for a score, interception return for a score. As you take a look at the AT&T 5G pylon cam, Eric Stokes, a junior out of Covington, Georgia, coming right at you for the score. An injured player on the field. It was Nate McBride on the kick return.
The other part of that, I mean, Florida had, I think they had just converted their last 4 third down plays. So that would have been the bugaboo. Now they're going to go fast. I think they're going to convert another one. All of a sudden it ends up being a pick 6.
Yeah. What a wild start is right. First 3 minutes, 2 Georgia touchdowns, back-to-back scores. After a 3-and-out by Florida, they go for 2 touchdowns, and Georgia takes the lead right back. We still got 12-17 to go in the first half.
And what we talked about in the open is the number of athletic players this Georgia defense has. They're all over the field. You know, you beat them sometimes, but you better do it well because they've got athletes running towards the ball and the quarterback full speed.
Here's a wheel route. Naquan Wright down the sideline for Florida. All the way down to the 25-yard line.
So Naquan Wright comes out of the backfield. He's hot. I think he has Monty Rice covering him one-on-one. Oh, a pick. Rice got picked on the play by the Florida player, the Florida receiver, and never could get back in phase on the play.
A 50-yard pickup from Trask. And Naquan Wright. And it's at the 25 of Georgia. Georgia with a blitz. Trask going to the end zone. Pitts. Touchdown.
My goodness.
Tyson Campbell was trying to stay with a big fella, but too much.
You want to know how college football has changed? That's how college football has changed. You've got guys that were 6'6" basketball players now playing tight end.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 3. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, touchdown.
Yes, a lot of people have been saying that Kyle Pitts reminds them of Travis Kelce or George Kittle, 2 great all-player tight ends in the NFL. To me, he's not. He reminds me of the Las Vegas Raiders' Darren Waller.
Oh, yeah.
The 6'6", kind of hybrid wide receiver tight end. That's how he plays the game, and that's how difficult he is to cover. I saw a game early in the year where against the Saints, he caught 12 balls for 105. A matchup nightmare.
Yeah, we knew this guy was a matchup nightmare just from watching last year and then the first 4 games this year. But
it seems like a 50-50 ball when you throw it, but it's not.
That's about a 95-5 with this guy.
Yes.
A 2-play drive, 75 yards, including 25 to Kyle Pitts. That's his 8th touchdown catch of the year, and we're even again at 21. Both these schools have produced a Masters champion. Bubba Watson won it twice. Tommy Aaron in '73. I played golf with Tommy Aaron one time at, I think it was Lake Lanier golf course, and he was so patient, and I was so bad. I was just so bad.
Did everybody tell you that I've already, let everybody know that I'm not going to any meetings on Saturday because I'm watching the golf.
Zamir Waddick here as Jackson back for Georgia. On the upcoming kick from McPherson. Might be returnable. It will be from the goal line. Jackson who went a 57-yarder earlier. Not this time. Harris gets it to about the 17, and that's it. Trevez Johnson made the stop on the special teams. If you're wondering who the quarterback's going to be this time out, we're still waiting. Stetson Bennett's got the helmet on. He's got the team around him, and DeJuan Mathis has his helmet off. So our answer is Stetson Bennett.
So after the Alabama game, the Georgia coaches and even Todd Monken said he got a little bit out over his skis, calling a little bit too much for Stetson Bennett. Now, it's a game, obviously 21-21. He has to be patient, his game plan, and not go away from it and try to do too much and try to match the passing game of Florida.
They got 2 tight ends in there. Let's see if they just hand it off to Milton and let Stetson Bennett get his legs under it. That'll be the call. And only about a yard as Tadarius Slayton made the tackle. Be 2nd down and 9. Now they change up personnel. Jackson comes in, so does James Cook. And we've got a player down over at the 25-yard line that I didn't see. The Florida Gator player down. We've had too many stoppages in play because of injuries so far in this first half, that's for sure. I think that's Brad Stewart.
I think so. He was didn't seem like he was anywhere near the play.
No, he wasn't. Stewart, a senior out of New Orleans. One of their key figures in their secondary. Looks like they're working on his left shoulder. See if we can see what happens on this play. There he is coming up on the
he
right
was
hand.
in the middle of the
He was in on the
play.
tackle.
Yeah, kind of looked like
he backed out of there after he made the hit and kind of recoiled, and that's why he went down so far away from where the play was made. Favoring his left arm or shoulder, and they'll put the tent up over there.
So one of the things I'm thinking now, if I'm Georgia, Todd Grantham, is when they run the shotgun run game, I'm going to let the quarterback, if he wants to try to run, I'm going to play running back. With a hurt shoulder, I'm going to say he's not going to keep it anymore. I'm going to play running back until he proves he's going to keep it.
That running back is James Cook with him right now. Fakes it to him, rips it down the middle, and Kearis Jackson, good throw and catch, first down.
Ventrell Miller thought he had it. This is what you have to do to throw the ball over the middle. When teams play in zone against you, you have to make tough throws. When they get picked off, they don't look good, but when you make the throw, it works really well, and that was a perfect throw from Stetson.
Sets to go again. This time he's going to air it long. Got a man out there, Matt Landers.
Oh, man.
A little bit too far for him.
I thought there was a lot of jostling at the end of it. I don't know if Landers could have got there.
Was it Sean Davis that was hooked up with him?
Yes, it was. A safety out there. Landers is deep. They're fighting. They're hand checking. And he uses his arms to slow him down. If it would have been his feet, I would have said good no call. But I think his hands at the end, he reaches out and grabs.
Yeah.
Could have been called, I think.
This is the first time we've had a split crowd, so you can actually hear some of the noise. Georgia fans didn't like that one, the non-call. Second down and 10. Zamir White, loss of a yard. Tyree Campbell makes a difference on the interior.
He did.
Our aerial coverage of today's game provided by Goodyear. Some of the folks that have their boats out there, and you don't have to go very far to get to TIAA Bank Field on the banks of St. John River.
Well, Stetson has proved he can throw the ball. His shoulder's fine. Now it comes to that third down situation. Let's see what Todd Grantham dials up here. Does he go to zone and try to bat a ball down? Or does he come after him?
Hasn't had a ball batted down yet, but he's had a lot of that this year so far. He's going to throw on the run here, and it's too high. Intended for Burton. Incomplete, full down.
You're right. It was good patience. Nice job by Bennett. Work his way up in the pocket. That buys him an extra couple seconds. Protection's okay, but he knows he has to get out of there. And when he comes up, he finds the open player and just lets it sail by.
Yep, he knew it too. He had him open. Would have been a big gainer and a first down. Instead, it's Jake Camarda, Kadarius Toney for Florida, waiting back at the 20. Toney hasn't had a lot of punt returns, but when he can catch one, this will be a fair catch again. He's about good for 15 yards on the return. He has to take this one in around the 18-yard line. So the Gators and the Dogs deadlocked in Jacksonville.
Well, Ness, we were talking about that last drive. We gave Monken credit for scheming up a play, but let's give a little credit to Dan Mullen or Brian Johnson, the quarterback coach. They schemed up a little pick play for Naquan right down the sideline, and they went to their mismatch. Two good plays, perfectly handled. One great call, and then one good thinking. Anytime you get man-to-man on 84th, throw them the ball.
Took a ball of 39 seconds for those two plays and a touchdown. There's the numbers on Kyle Trask, who's up to 20 touchdown tosses on the year. He's back looking for more, going deep for more. And he's got it in stride, Malik Davis. Davis all the way down inside the Georgia 45.
Yeah, and I think that was a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Nakobe Dean, number 17. Coming out of the backfield, Dean's the middle linebacker, and they free release right out of the backfield, and he has a tough matchup. Very fortunate to get a toe tackle on that play.
Well, Dean was shaken up, making that tackle. Florida sets up shot quickly at the Georgia 44. There is Toney shaking into the backfield now. Trask hits us in the slot to the right. And it's Toney, a yard or two. Kyle Trask starting to put up big numbers here in the first half again as it rains. And the sky opens up as we test your knowledge with today's Aflac Trivia question.
Aflac.
And here it is. Kyle Trask, one of three quarterbacks in SEC history with 4+ touchdown passes in 4 straight games. Who are the other two? Well, he had 4 in a row coming in. He's got 2 here in the first half, so he's right on his per-game mark. Second down and 9. Trask fires deep middle. Oh, my goodness. Pitts didn't make the catch, and we're going to have, it looks like maybe a targeting call on Scene.
I think it is.
Wow. Both guys are shaken up.
Yes, they are. And that's
And now we got a little mix-up going on
That's
down
what
there.
the rule makers are begging to try to get out of the game. The players don't take those angles for those hits. That's the way football was played for years and years and years. When you threw over the middle, that's how you stopped it and you discouraged it. But now, that's a tough one.
Yeah, the days of Jack Tatum are long gone.
Right.
Pitts shaken up. Scene doesn't even know where his helmet is right now. I don't
know
think
if he knows where he is right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the officials will have a meeting. Flag is down. Scene goes into the Georgia tent. And Kyle Pitts with Kadarius Toney taking a knee next to him, still on a knee. Here's a call.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense, number 16. The previous play is under review.
Now remember, with Richard LeCount out, Scene is a key member of that Georgia secondary. So we bring in Gene Steratore. Gene?
Man, that was vicious.
These plays happen so fast, guys, as you well know, and really, if you look at Scene, he's trying to get his shoulder to the side and get a target area that would be legal, and the receiver is going to duck and get ready to absorb the impact. These are really hard plays in real time. I do think he launches enough and has an indicator there to hit that defenseless receiver. But I don't want you guys to think that he's blatantly trying to do something dirty, and I don't think we're implying that. He's trying to get lower than his target, his receiver. And these things happen in such a quick instant, but they are dangerous, not only for the receiver, but for that defender as well.
Here's a call.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 16 is disqualified.
So another starter out of Georgia's secondary. He's in the tent, and he is done for the day. And meanwhile, Kyle Pitts got a huge ovation when he got up and walked out on his own power after this collision.
But even if he says, Kyle Pitts, he wants to play more, the doctors for Florida will have to examine him and say, I don't care if you want to play or not.
Yep.
You're going to have to pass some protocols here before we'll let you back out on the field.
So I'm sorry to say both tents are erected here, and we hate to see that anytime during the game, and we've seen it way too much already. There's the elements of targeting.
Yeah, but a defenseless receiver like that, I think it's the responsibility of the defender to make sure you don't put that receiver in a position where he can get hurt, and that time Scene did not do enough to avoid it.
So Florida at the Georgia 28. Damian Pierce got an opening off the left side. Monty Rice closed it at the 25. Scene comes out, and I think his lip is bleeding, and he's wondering if he's got all his teeth right now, but he's heading to the Georgia locker room.
Yes, he doesn't have to leave the field, so you know something else is up. A good pull right here, kick out by this Georgia offensive line, sealed outside, and a knockdown block by Stuart Reese, number 51. Good block.
With Pitts out of there, Kimari Gamble will get more time at tight end.
And he just made a good block on the last play.
Second down and 6 just inside the Georgia 25. Play action for Trask. Going to a wide open Kimari Gamble. Touchdown, Florida.
So Ness, the conversation we had with Kirby Smart when he said, I'm very confident in the communication of our defense. We shouldn't bust. This is another bust. I mean, one guy goes in motion. For some reason, the Georgia defense can't handle it. They pass it off, and a wide open, you and I could throw that one still.
Man, you worry about number 84. He goes to the sideline, and the guy that takes his spot calls in the touchdown pass. And Florida is in front for the first time today.
Again, a simple adjustment. One guy in motion. Remember, a year ago it was J.R. Reed. Then it was Richard LeCount. Today it's Christopher Smith. Whoever it is, they messed it up.
As you look from our pylon cam, Gamble puts the Gators in front by a touchdown. Florida's taking the lead for the first time now. On Kyle Trask's third touchdown throw, this time to Kimari Gamble. As you see Kyle Pitts, who was shaken up before that touchdown pass. And he's headed to the locker room.
Yeah, that was the throw over the middle. It was defended. The ball popped out, but there was a penalty and targeting on the play, and he's going to have to leave the field and go into the protocol of whether he had a concussion. He's going to have to show he did not.
Kickoff. Kearis Jackson will let that one drop. Here's the hit again. Lewis Seen ejected for targeting on that hit right there on Kyle Pitts.
Yes, and then back up tight end, and it was the motion. There's three guys over here, three receivers. When Tony goes in motion, that means there's two there. So divvy it up. Look at all the adjustments by Georgia, but they don't adjust correctly. Costly. And the backup tight end, Gamble, says, I can do it. Not as pretty as 84, but I can do it.
There aren't too many that are as good as that guy. But Gamble made it look easy on the throw from Trask. And now let's see if Georgia has an answer. We seesaw in this game. Bennett to throw, and he's got his tight end and dropped it.
Dropped it.
John Fitzpatrick would have had a big gainer. Didn't take the ball with him.
Perfect call. Great execution. Fake the pitch. Fitzpatrick is wide open. He's not going to score, but it's a nice 20-yard gain and get you out of your own 25-yard line to answer. And now it's 2nd and long. It does appear Stetson's shoulder is fine, right?
That was a good throw.
Yes,
the one down the middle on the previous series was as well. Burton in motion for Georgia to the bottom of the screen on 2nd down and 10. Bennett going to go deep middle. Man out there. Just overshot Kearis Jackson.
Had an opportunity. You got to make a couple of those throws. This is one where this time Florida busts. No safety in the middle of the field, and you got a chance for a huge play, and we saw that in the Alabama game. He overthrew a guy deep down there, and this time he does it again. A play that is a touchdown cannot be made.
Now the situation Georgia did not want to put themselves in. 3rd down and 10. Bennett, Russ is getting to him. He got away somehow. Threw it to Zamir White, who got it across the 30, but Brad Stewart brought him down at the 31, and it's 4th down.
Well, for Georgia, it hasn't been pretty. Since they took a 14-0 lead, they've had 4 possessions, 4 punts, 1 first down.
And 1 interception return for a score, or they wouldn't have 21 points. So Camarda to punt. He'd like to really get a hold of one here to try to flip the field at the 7-minute mark of the quarter. And he did. Ooh, nice punt. Was it too good? Tony gathers it at about the 5, and Georgia's there to meet him. So the punt was deep. The coverage was excellent. Hudson got down there to make the tackle.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. They say stop at the 10, but when you're a big-time player, you think you can beat 3 or 4 guys. I don't know if you can beat 6 guys, though.
63-yard punt, which is just a yard shy of Camarda's longest of the year. Kyle Trask started 0 for 3. He's gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah, this one right here when he had the ball knocked out of his hand, the crossing route to shorter was a beautiful play. Then he throws what some people call a 50-50 ball, and then a gift, the busted coverage by Georgia. 3 touchdowns in 3 different ways.
21 on the year. There's his numbers, and we're not even to halftime. He's going to throw again on a quick slant and got it complete out to the 19 to shorter.
Well, this was all the way at RPO. This is a read all the way. He's reading those linebackers, and 7 puts it into the running back's stomach, and watch him just look. Oh, the linebackers are up close. I'm going to go right behind him. That's modern football. How about that? First down from inside the 5. Yeah, just
all of a sudden you're at the 19, right?
Exactly.
Hand off to Tony, trying to reverse his field, doing a lot of moving, but going down at the 14. Nice job by Georgia's defense. Jermaine Johnson made the tackle. Earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Kyle Trask on a roll. And who did he join in that group with 4+ touchdown passes in 4 straight games? Johnny Manziel, who won a Heisman. And Tua Tagovailoa, that almost won a Heisman. Pretty good company.
Yep. At least as college players.
Yep. Second and 13. Trask. And he's got a man. Breaking a tackle is Pierce. And Pierce has got a big gainer out near midfield.
Poor angle that time from the Georgia safety. He had him lined up, a running back on a pass. The receiver is looking back for the ball. He's got him in his sights. Misses the tackle. Every little thing against these great athletes, you got to square them up or they're going to just spin right out of it.
Got a man down way back in the end zone.
Yep.
Not sure how anybody ended up.
And you know what I'm not going to say? He wasn't in the play like I did last time.
Well, this is an offensive lineman who
Right, I think he was in the play.
must have walked back literally 20-some yards to end up on a knee in the end zone. I think it might be the right guard, Reese.
Yeah, Reese had a good block on that last drive when he got the knockdown block. And it's like his left shoulder's kind of just dangling there, doesn't it? Left
We had
arm.
some bad shoulder problems so far today for everybody.
Oh, yeah, he runs out. He already popped it when he goes backwards.
He literally did go backward 15 yards or more before he took a knee in the end zone. Emory Jones is coming at quarterback. Kyle Trask comes out from the midfield stripe. Trask has 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, and they bring in Emory Jones from midfield. Looked like motion.
Get a motion penalty. Sometimes you wonder if you're putting a square peg in a round
False
hole,
start.
don't you think?
Yeah.
Offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jones' cadence may be different than
Well,
Trask.
of course
whatever.
it is. Of course it is. Trying to get, you know, a little different look for this Georgia defense, and it's not exactly the same for that offensive line. It's going to be 1st and 15.
Backs it up to the 45. Leave Jones in there.
And by the way, that's the first penalty of the game for this Florida team.
Jones is a Georgia native out of LaGrange. And 1st and 15, a run all the way for him. And he got about 7 straight up the middle. Major Burns, the freshman safety, made the tackle. And Jones goes out. Trask comes back in.
Just remember that we've seen Emory Jones do that, come in and look like he's going to run that quarterback power, and he rears back and throws a play-action pass. So that could be a setup play for later.
Meanwhile, they're setting up again in Georgia territory at 48-yard line, 2nd down and 8.
No pressure up the middle by this Georgia pass rush so far.
Trask throws on the run, completes it to Pierce. Pierce, pickup of about 8 more. Dan Mullen has been known as a quarterback whisperer, if you will. Alex Smith at Utah. Tim Tebow won the Heisman Trophy when he was offensive coordinator. Urban Meyer at Florida. Dak Prescott. He's had some pretty good guys to work with.
Yeah.
I think he's done the best job with this guy.
He sure has. I mean, a guy that they were really not counting on got the job because of injury. They're averaging 476 yards a game. And remember, they've run the fewest plays in the country, averaging just 63 a game. They're close. 368 already in this football first half.
They're down at 2. Can Pierce get the first down? He does easily. Monty Rice will bring it down, but not before he gets to the 35-yard line.
Well, clearly the passing game and all the variations that this offense for Florida has allowed the running game to pick up important yards. Not huge yards, but important yards. I mean, you have to have it both against this Georgia defense, and obviously Florida does.
Again, Georgia missing some people. Richard LeCounte and Lewis Seen, who went out with a targeting call here in this quarter. But
up front,
you keep talking about them being, we keep talking about Georgia being the #1 defense. They got annihilated by Alabama, and they're getting ripped pretty good right here in the first half. Malik Davis that time. Short game.
Well, I mean, watch them on tape, they look good.
I know they do.
But so does
What did
Florida.
Alabama have? 564.
They did, but the game was close for a while. But I will say this, in modern college football, offense wins. Period. Offense wins. If you're good on offense, we saw it last year in the SEC championship game with LSU. Georgia came in with a good defense. You've got to be able to score points, modern football.
And number 11 looking a little bit like Joe Burrow did a year ago so far in the first half of the season for Florida. Trask Throw over the middle, and Tony dropped it. Had it right in his hands. Looking to make a move, I think, and took his eye off the ball for a second. Georgia defense did a great job in the first couple of weeks. Tennessee, those were 2 quick strikes to Palmer from Garantano. And then Alabama, Mac Jones does what Mac Jones does. No touchdowns to Kentucky. And right now they're a touchdown down as Florida scored 4.
In the pregame show, I thought Rick Neuheisel made a good point. If you're going to beat Alabama, you better be ready to score points, because they're going to score points.
This is a big third down for Georgia at the 2.5-minute mark. Trying to get a stop. The 31 is Davis.
Call on 3rd and long, isn't it? They're going to go field goal here. I would assume they would.
Got a field goal kicker that's been good. He's been perfect so far anyway. Didn't play last week, but he's 5 for 5.
Just thinking out loud, I mean, if they have Pitts available, do they still run that play? Or is he thinking, you know, we're not as good without him. We're not as able to spread out that defense. I think I like the opportunity here for a 50-yard field goal, I guess.
Evan McPherson from 50. 5 for 5 on the year. His career long is 55, so he's got the range to try to add to the Florida lead. And he blasted that one.
Sure did.
50-yard field goal by McPherson, and the lead goes to 10. Kyle Trask, who's been huge, over 300 yards passing, and he said, we'll take 3 when we can get it. Florida by 10. Coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have first half analysis and highlights from around the country on the Geico halftime report. Florida just went 64 yards and 10 plays again in a little over 5 minutes and got a 50-yard field goal.
So most of the Georgia fans after the Kentucky game was going, that was a good win. We kind of understand it. You ran the ball to get a win in that football game. But is that enough to beat Florida? Can we really do that? And no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. They need to do more. So now you're in a 2-minute situation here. You know, I mean, the last 6 times Florida's had the ball, they have 4 touchdowns, a field goal, and a pick 6. Okay, so they haven't even had to punt here. They made 1 mistake. So do you let Stetson Bennett go here? Or do you say, let's get to halftime and figure something out when there's a lot more time? Remember, Florida gets the ball to start the second half.
Georgia has 75 yards passing. Kyle Trask has 312 yards passing.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Here's the starters that have gone down. Seen out for targeting. I don't think he would have played anymore anyway after that collision.
Right.
And Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint, who scored on a 32-yard touchdown and a gruesome leg injury, who Jamie says has still hung around. And Marcus, we hope you get better in your rehab fast, and a nice touchdown catch, which gave your team the lead. Right now, Georgia's quarterback goes to work while Florida's can sit down and relax for a second.
You almost think you got to let them try it, but I tell you, 1 mistake by Georgia, the game could be over.
Bennett down the middle. Yep. He had his guy, and Washington dropped it. Darnell Washington, the freshman tight end.
One of the things I was saying before is they got to help out the quarterback. I mean, you know, this is a walk-on quarterback. No one expected at Georgia this guy to be playing. He's hung in there. You know, 1 loss on the year. Make an argument they don't beat Arkansas without this guy.
Right.
But you got to come up with some tough catches. That's another catch they could have made to help the quarterback. Did not come down with the football.
Clock stop with 1:40. Georgia has 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and 10. Burton comes in motion toward the line of scrimmage on the right side. Bennett trying to scan the field. He's not going to have enough time. Dropped. And it's Brenton Cox, and he'll celebrate that, I'm sure. Although his helmet came off and he might be done for a play. Former Georgia player gets the sack.
All right, I think it was a pretty good coverage. Playing zone defense, nobody really confidently to throw the ball, maybe late here, but by that time, the pass rush had already got to Stetson Bennett. He moves up in the pocket. Remember, when he moves up, those tall defensive linemen give him problems. That time he couldn't see Burton.
Cox did take off his own helmet. You saw it there, so he comes out for at least a play. Third down and 10.
something to the outside, a screen, something, a little swing pass. Don't want him thrown over the middle right now.
They've missed their last 4.
They're taking time off the clock as much as they can. I'm surprised Florida isn't taking a timeout. I think Dan just says, I'll take 31 and go to halftime.
Now the play clock down to 3. Bennett going to go deep on the sideline for Landers, and he overshot him.
You can always, and listen, I'm not criticizing Stetson Bennett. He's doing as good as he can, but you can always, I was told when I was coaches, when you're throwing long on deep balls, you're a little bit nervous. You're trying to make sure you don't get a ball picked off.
Yep.
You're just giving it a little bit, you know, throwing long is really being too conservative when you overthrow guys deep. So, you know, it's tough out here. It's a good, you know, a lot of at stake and not a lot of experience for Stetson Bennett.
Oh
no.
After
Shaked
a
it.
great punt the previous time, this one.
That's going to be inside the 50-yard line, I think, Brad.
Short field for Florida with 2 timeouts remaining.
It is.
Oof.
And that's when everybody, I don't know, you'd think that should be as easy
And
as you
he
can
knew
do it. Yep,
as soon as he
right
hit it.
away.
That one was 40 yards shorter than the last one.
Yep. So now, even though there's 39, that's what I was wondering why Dan didn't take a timeout, and then he gets a break here now. 39 seconds, you're thinking another field goal right away here. Can I get a field goal out of this? Two timeouts for both teams.
The way number 11 is slinging it around, he might just let it rip here a couple times.
Oh, yeah. 4 wide receivers out there. Let's see if Georgia can get a little pressure and affect the quarterback here in the pass rush.
Kadarius Toney has not been a big factor in the passing game. He's in the slot on the left side. Trask back to throw. Throws short, and going to be Whittemore, who got, I think, a first down. They're going to move it. Yep, first down.
So Azeez Ojulari's a big-time pass rusher, but a good job being done by this Florida offensive line. Pushing him to the outside, that's good protection by Forsythe.
Ojulari leading the SEC in sacks. His little brother is second in the SEC in sacks. First down, 34 seconds. Trask, plenty of time, pumps once, throws late. Monty Rice breaks it up.
Yeah, he's going to get called for holding, though. That's a tough matchup for Monty Rice. He's got Kadarius Toney, and I don't blame him, grabbing anything he could.
Just when I said Toney hasn't been a factor in the receiving game, he draws the penalty.
Well, he hasn't in the 3 previous games against Georgia. Now, he's been nicked. He isn't what he used to be now, but he's had 6 touches for 25 yards coming into this game.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 32, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now remember, you're a linebacker. You've got, maybe number 3 coming across, and I got number 1, and I grab a hold, and it is the face mask. I'm grabbing anything I can, and it ends up being the face mask.
If he didn't get the face mask call, it would have been interference.
Yep.
So 30 seconds still remain. 2 timeouts for the Gators. Here's Malik Davis spinning his way down around the 18. See if Florida takes time.
They did very quickly, right? Even before he hit the ground, Dan Mullen was calling timeout on that play.
They've got 1 remaining. 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Gators with a 10-point lead and looking for more. Here, I think you already said it. Florida gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Here they are with 25 seconds remaining and looking for more before halftime.
Yeah, and you still got a timeout in your pocket, so you can call anything right here. No, excuse me, Brad. No blitzing so far and no pressure on the quarterback. Couple, but no sacks. Slight pressures, I'd say.
Trask has had plenty of time. Late throw to Toney, trying to bring him down. They do.
Another timeout.
A yard shy of the first down.
Well, we do know if Kyle Pitts was in this game, what would be called now? There'd be a jump ball in the end zone.
Yeah, right.
Toney, number 3, coming across again. This time they double him. They have a rat in the middle of the field. Instead of having 2 wide safeties, they stack the safeties. One as a crosser and one as the deep post.
Tyreek Stevenson shaken up. Been involved in that play.
Another one of those safeties.
running out of defensive backs if you're Georgia.
Well, I know Monty Rice is going, I'm not going in there to cover that guy. Get that shoulder okay, because I'm not covering that slot. That ain't going to work. Another good throw, another good catch.
He held on for dear life and then had to just bulldog Tony over his shoulder, and then came up and said, I don't think my shoulder feels that good.
Remember, this Georgia pass rush has been effective and efficient against everybody, but it's been nothing today. Very quiet.
Came in #1 in the SEC in sacks with 17, and Trask has just been sitting back there taking his time.
And even when they do get a push at him, it doesn't bother him. He doesn't feel that garbage in front of him. He just steps in and makes a calm throw.
He's calmly thrown it for 327 and 3 right now. Now they come with some pressure, but the ball goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Trayvon Grimes.
My goodness.
Tyson Campbell was there, but the throw was perfect. The grab maybe even better.
6'3", Grimes. Remember, he played behind 4 NFL receivers last year. Gets his chance and makes the catch. So far, Georgia's dropping the balls. Florida is not.
At the beginning of the game, we highlighted Trayvon Grimes because we said you can worry and double team about Tony and Pitts all you want, but the other guys over there aren't hamburger meat either, you know, including this guy. Extra point upcoming for McPherson.
Remember what this Florida receiving group lost. Van Jefferson, Jonathan Swain, Tyreek Cleveland, and Josh Hammond all in the NFL, and they've just reloaded with new receivers again.
Kyle Trask is going to head it to the 5G AT&T pylon cam to Grimes as he goes airborne. And a perfect throw and catch as you get this look at the 4th touchdown pass of the first half from Kyle Trask. And he now has 22 of them on the year. And he is one fired up quarterback as well he should be. That was a 48-yard drive in just 4 plays. Remember, Camarda's 23-yard punt set him up at the 48-yard line. It only took him 28 seconds and 2 timeouts to score again. And now it's 38-21 Florida.
And I will say, okay, you know, when you throw the ball up to Kyle Pitts, you can just loft it up in a general direction. But that throw by Kyle right there, Trask, that was a perfect throw. That's what you work on every day. When you make that throw, you can throw it at any level and it's going to work. And Grimes just showed climbing up and catching it. That was perfectly thrown. A winning throw that defeated pretty good coverage.
5 straight games with 4 touchdown passes or more for Kyle Trask. Nobody's ever done that in this league. And it's halftime, not quite halftime.
So last year in this game, Florida only had 7 possessions. They've had 7 straight possessions where they've scored one way or another. One time for Georgia and the rest of the time for themselves.
Zamir White, who had a 75-yard touchdown the first time he touched it today, touches it on a kick return and gets it out around the 25-yard line.
One more look at what these guys do all summer, every day in practice. When they go into the kicking drills, they're down there throwing this back shoulder up as high as you can, and if it's not put in the proper place, you're not going to beat the good coverage that time. And Kyle Trask goes, whew.
Yeah. I think everybody in the stadium is doing the same thing. 6 seconds remaining. Georgia will take a knee here.
And the question again, you know, where is he in the Heisman? Well, if he runs the table, right? Come on. If he beats Alabama, if he gets the SEC championship with these numbers, he's going to pull off a Joe Burrow here.
And he's got the crowd on his side. He's got a 17-point lead on his side. Wow, what a half between Florida and Georgia. It's the end of the first half. Get Jamie's interview with Coach Smart at SEC on CBS. But right now we take it to Zook and the guys in our New York studio. Halftime with Florida leading Georgia 38-21. And now it's time for a taste of tradition presented by Sonic. Here's Jamie.
For more than 3 decades, Mick Huber has been the voice of Florida Gator sports. He is the only college play-by-play voice to call national championships for one university in football, basketball, and baseball. Due to COVID-19 precautions, he is currently working from an on-campus studio in Gainesville. But his signature, oh, "Oh my" call continues to punctuate the greatest moments in Gator sports history.
Looking. He's going to heave one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. And the Gators have won the game. Tyree Cleveland. Oh, my. I can't believe what I just saw.
My good friend Mick readily admits he borrowed that "oh my" from the great Dick Enberg. When they met for the first time about 20 years ago, Dick graciously gave Mick the blessing to carry on the tradition. And I know he's in that studio going, "Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my," on Kyle Trask Day, as we're just about set to start the third quarter in Jacksonville. Florida will get the football first. And Kyle Trask with another 4-touchdown day, his 5th straight game of 4 or more. And we still have 2 quarters to play. Georgia, Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint, who was injured on a 32-yard touchdown catch earlier, has come out with on crutches with a cast on his leg. So he's sticking around to watch his teammates hopefully try to come back in the second half. But if Georgia doesn't find an answer for number 11, the inside track to the SEC championship from the East looks like it'll be from Gainesville. So a long way to go. We welcome you back to the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie down on the sideline. Got to ask you, Kyle Trask, we can talk about him all we want, but does Georgia go to a different quarterback?
I think, maybe start out a couple series, sees what happens, but I would get DeJuan Mathis a few playing time here, see what happens. I mean, long range, you go to a scholarship player and see what he can do. The story of the game, we started out being third down, obvious Kyle Trask, but in this game, Florida's been making third down, and Georgia has not, and that's 8 possessions for Florida. In the whole game last year, they only had 8 possessions. That's a big difference. They're getting off the field.
Georgia has 5 completions for 75 yards. Kyle Trask has 20 completions for 341 yards and looking for more, and he's got about 15 more. Complete to Gamble, the other tight end, as we check in with Jamie.
But Brad, unfortunately, Kyle Trask will be without Kyle Pitts the remainder of this game. Dan Mullen just told me he is out. He would not disclose, but it did look like head or neck or concussion to us in the first half. Also on the offensive line, Stuart Reese, they will be without him for the remainder of the game.
So they lose their right guard. Thanks, Jamie.
And that's the 12th pass, Brad, for more than 10 yards so far for Kyle Trask in this game.
Down from the 39, and the RPO is another dart for 13 more to Trayvon Grimes.
And we saw Tua Tagovailoa do that so many times for Alabama with accuracy on the RPO. When you put it in the winning spot, I mean, that's a winning spot to a wide receiver. Low, you're not going to get hit. That's unstoppable. It's just frankly unstoppable. The value of a quarterback in the passing game in college football has never been greater. I know running's important, but I'll take a guy in a wheelchair that can throw.
And this guy has really been ripping it. 368 right now. He's going to try another one. Down the middle, a little bit high, but Tony drags it down anyway. Kadarius Toney and another Florida first down.
And it gets contagious. When you start moving the ball and making all those catches, there's no such thing as a bad throw. It's your turn to make a great catch. And that time it was Toney climbing up to make the great catch. It was Pitts. It was Grimes. Now it's Toney.
All over the place. Doesn't matter who it is right now. At the 35. 3 receivers. The Kyle Trask left. Spent very little time under center. He looked like he was coming up there right now, but back to the gun. This time they do hand off to Pierce, only about a yard.
One of the things when the pass offense is working well, Ness, is it's hitting all parts of the field. Throwing the ball, and a deep ball, he throws accurately. We saw Stetson miss some throws. Kyle has not been missing the deep balls. 4 for 4 to the left and 3 for 3 to the right.
That one little miscue over there on the left was basically on the right side of the field there. Stokes on the interception return for the touchdown.
You don't even remember those, right?
The receiver carried that one right into the defensive back for Georgia. And Georgia's down 2 defensive backs. With Seen out to the targeting. Count out to injury. And it'll bring up third down here. The opening series for Florida, the first half trends. First time Zamir White touches it. 75 yards for a touchdown. 4+ touchdown passes in 5 straight games. That's a new record. And combined first half points, the most ever in this series. That goes back to 1915.
Got a feeling this is a must stop, and I think Georgia has to bring some players on this one. They've got to put some pressure on Trask.
They do. He had to throw off his back foot, and finally an incompletion and a stop. So Gary called it. They brought the heat, and it paid off that time.
Yeah, there's no way. They're not defending him. You might as well try to get to the quarterback before he can throw it. Trask knows he does not have it protected. He backs up, and then just throws to a spot. And obviously the receiver went inside when he threw it outside.
Nolan Smith put the heat on. Gene DeLance, the right tackle, is down right now. Remember, they already lost, as Jamie told you, their right guard. So the right side of the Florida line with some injury problems right now.
Yeah, DeLance was a 2-year starter, started 13 games a year ago, number 56, top right there. Goes inside, misses inside, doesn't block outside, and stumbles.
And then comes up hobbling.
Yeah, he might have, as he reached in, might have tweaked his own knee on that play.
Senior out of Mesquite, Texas.
Started his career at Texas, transferred here to Florida.
And so he's heading out and to the locker room.
Go get an X-ray, isn't he?
Yep. Comes off to the Georgia sideline and then heads to the other tunnel.
Remember the last 50-yard field goal, I felt he had it from 60 yards. So I think he's obviously well within his range.
This one is going to be 51.
Yep, Georgia had to have a must stop, and they got it. Let's see if they can dodge a field goal here.
Jacob Finn to hold Evan McPherson to try to hit his second 50-plus yard field goal of the day. Hasn't missed yet this year. Still hasn't missed. Wow, what a weapon to have.
And that's good from 60. It might be a little bit downwind, but he hit it dead straight.
51-yard field goal, and on the opening series of the third quarter, the Gators tack on more and lead by 20. Thursday on CBS, looking for something with a little positivity? We've got it with a new comedy, Be Positive, from executive producer Chuck Lorre. Critics call it comedy gold. You can see why this Thursday night at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS. And did this one go out of bounds before it got to the goal line?
It did. Yes, it did.
Georgia's going to have good field position.
So as you enter the second half here, you got to think back to a few opportunities that Georgia had early. It could have been a pass interference call, but big opportunity for a play. Couple drop passes. I've seen at least 2 of them. And then a wide open 6 points, just a bit of an overthrow. One
long to Landers, one long to Kieris Jackson, and then the tight end Fitzpatrick, who just flat dropped one.
So you got to just bite this lead one bite at a time. You know, put a touchdown on the board, you know, and then see where you go from there. Get a stop and try to get it into a 2-possession game, and then you go from there.
See if they go back to the running game. Zamir White. And Zamir is going to go for 3. And that worked well on the first play of the game when he went 75 yards. And since then,
yeah, if I'm calling plays for Georgia, I'm calling plays as if it's a 0-0 game, and I'm running my normal offense. It doesn't mean I'm not going to throw, but I'm not going to get into a hurry-up game and try to score 21 points real fast. I'm just going to say my defense is going to start stopping them, and I'm going to try to score normally.
Bennett looking left the whole time, goes that way to Burton.
Nice safe pass.
Burton, rather. That's first down. Jermaine Burton becoming more and more a big part of the Georgia offense. News and notes there today. A couple of games canceled in the Pac-12. Trevor Lawrence will miss the game tonight against Notre Dame, and BYU looked impressive over Boise on the blue turf last night.
Everybody's going to notice that game. The committee's going to go, well, should we think about these guys at the end or not?
James Cook flushes out of the backfield. Empty backfield for Bennett, who's got to throw here down the middle and nobody home. I guess it was intended for Trey McKitty, the tight end.
Yep, trying to stick it in that zone. Right now, Florida's dropping in zones, and they're forcing the quarterback to make tight window throws. And if I'm Stetson Bennett, or if I was a quarterback coach calling plays, like in the NFL where you can call the plays in the helmet, I'd just say, take the checkdowns. If they're giving you the checkdowns, let's just move the chains slowly if we have to. We're going to run the ball. We're going to throw the ball short. We don't have to stick every throw in the middle of the zone.
Bennett backpedaling, in trouble, has got to throw it away. And it's 3rd and 10. Zach Carter putting some heat on. And remember, he did not play in the first half.
Right, 17's back out there, and he's fresh. So they got Campbell back last week, 56, and now they got a fresh Carter that says, I'm really ready to go.
Couldn't play the first half because of his involvement in the fight with Missouri last week. 3rd down and 10. Here's Jackson in motion. Bennett has time, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kair Elam.
I think Jalen Johnson, number 83, slipped and fell, but it may be because the throw was behind him on the play. Squaring, man-to-man. Yes, poor throw. He tries to adjust to it. The ball wasn't thrown in front of the receiver. He's got a big window to throw the football into. He throws it behind, and the receiver cannot save the play. Bad throw from your quarterback.
Bad result for Georgia. Good for Florida with a 20-point lead in the ball back. In Jacksonville, Florida with a big lead and now a turnover. And they give it back to their offense at their own 35-yard line. Shorter in motion to the near side as Trask is back to throw. And again, getting some pressure this time, and he goes down. Sacked for the first time today. And it's Jermaine Johnson.
Well, there's a big play for the defense, but I think Kirby Smart's going to make a change at quarterback. You see Stetson Bennett going, I know, I understand. Kirby has been great with Stetson. Through the mistakes, he's been positive with him. He's his quarterback, but, you know, we've all gone through these games. You make some mistakes, somebody else is going to get in the game. I give Kirby a lot of credit. When he brought him aside, he told him what's going to happen. I got to bring in number 2, and Stetson said, I know, I understand.
On 2nd and 18, the Florida quarterback goes wide open in the flat to Davis.
Man, I don't quite get it. I mean, throw a dump pass to your running back on 18 yards and you pick up 15 yards. I don't know, for some reason, this defense for Georgia just seems that they can't get aligned when they want to play zone. And man, they get picked. Motion, they make mistakes. They're just not having a good football game here.
Actually, he got the first down.
He did. I thought he was out of bounds before that.
At the 45, they give it to him.
So one thing if you throw the ball 18 yards down, you rip one in there, but when you dump it off, you get a first down.
And now it's Pierce on the ground out near the 49. Well, if you look at the quarterback comparison, there isn't one. Almost 400 yards for Trask. And we think Stetson Bennett's day is done with 78 yards. 32 of that was a touchdown. And the interception on the last series for Georgia.
It's tough. You know, I've been there. You get your shot, you want to play, you've worked hard, you're a walk-on at a place you love, and it just doesn't work out for you. When you got against Alabama and Florida, it was just too tough for you.
Here's Pierce. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That's just about it. Stokes has got him stood up.
Again, you know, I'm not making excuses for anybody, just what's in front of you. It hasn't been just him.
Right.
Okay, I mean, he's been part of it. They've been making mistakes in the secondary. They don't have a pass rush. They've been dropping balls, but, you know, and you're playing football and you're the quarterback, you get it every down, you got to make some plays.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 6. Trask throws out in the flat to Tony, made one guy miss. They won't make the rest of the Bulldogs miss. And it'll bring up 4th down. Tindall finally brought him down.
And Juwan Mathis is going to get an opportunity again. Sometimes you never get a second chance, and I think Mathis is going to get a second chance to see if he can. Remember, he won this job early in the year, started out in that Arkansas game. I think he's going to get an opportunity to see if he's the guy he thinks he is. Remember, in his mind, he thinks he's the guy.
Harris Jackson goes back, waiting on Finn's punt.
Florida only has 10 guys out there.
And now they're going to bring out 2, but they're going to peel 1 back.
It's 11.
11 should work. Jackson can let it go to see if it'll get to the end zone, and it will. So for the second time today, but this time it looks like maybe for good in this game, Georgia will go with a new quarterback. But right now it's all Florida. Let's take a look at the Dr. Pepper SEC Conference standings. Coming in, Georgia and Florida each with 1 loss. You win this, you're usually on the inside track. They're playing the West champ, which is Alabama. They got the weekend off. And it looks like unless things change dramatically in the next 22 minutes, we might have somebody else playing Alabama or whomever from the West in Atlanta for the SEC title game on December 19th. Stetson Bennett's numbers to this point, and
you know, and it gets amplified even more when the other guy's throwing for as much as he does.
Yeah.
You know, in the Alabama game and in the Florida game, it's like, okay, you know, I mean, why couldn't it be like the last few years, 7, 17, and 17 points? But this is a different Florida team.
Zamir White for 4, maybe 5. Slayton off the defensive line along with Tyree Campbell in on the stop. Zamir might end up with 100 yards rushing by default because he got 75 on the first snap of the game.
So what does Juwan Mathis bring to the table? What did they see him in camp? Well, if they had much of a camp this year, we don't even know, right? But what did they see that he got the starting job the first game?
Maybe this, and maybe that. And Mathis has a first down.
There you go. You tie a little bit of that together, couple play action passes, score 1 touchdown and see what happens. That's how you got to look at this. 1 series at a time. Brenton Cox goes for the handoff. Remember I said if I'm playing against Bennett, I'm going for the handoff every time. With this guy, I don't think so. I think he may try to keep more.
Remember, he came in and had to have surgery, brain surgery, on a cyst in his head, so he missed a whole year, and then came back and just had to get healthy enough to play football again. So give him credit for hanging in there and working as hard. Cox is offside. Should be a free play for Mathis. Long ball, got double coverage out there, and it's broken up. There's about 5 guys.
That was a good, smart play by Juwan Mathis. He knew he had a free play, couldn't really throw it far enough. Brenton Cox jumps off sides, out of your peripheral vision. He sees that. He knows it. He's got a free play. Now throw it.
Defense, number 1, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Would have been nice if he could have thrown that another 15 yards, but I don't know if he's got that much arm.
Well, Burton and Kieras Jackson were both down there, and it's Burton who's still down. Got tangled up with 3 Gators defensively. So the freshman down holding his leg. We'll check on him when we come back. Let's take a look at the GMC game changer, Gary.
And part of the game-changing strategy of this game is use the running backs as weapons in the passing game. And it's worked really well. Coming out of the backfield, they're able to isolate on those inside linebackers, and they've produced big plays. And even when they throw it and it looks covered, the Georgia defense has missed a couple tackles to make big plays. So the game changer so far has been everywhere, but it's also been the running back.
The first down after that penalty. There's Burton. He was okay. Walked up under his own power. Trey Blunt's going to come in to the lineup for Georgia. So 1st and 5. Last 6 drives, not good. 5 punts and a pick.
Remember that the strategy for Georgia is defense. You got to shut them out, period. And we have to score in the normal way we run our offense. Nothing fast. Just pluck away, and run our offense.
The James Cook run was not enough of a pluck, only about a yard. Brings up 2nd down and 4. Kyle Trask to the running backs that Gary was talking about. That's good. Got to be a nice, calm feeling over there.
It is
sitting
really
with a 20-point lead.
Yeah, it is really one of the techniques that Dan Mullen has in his offense. He's always had it. He free releases his running backs out of the backfield, forces you, those linebackers, to cover him fast. If you don't, you're running down the field chasing a guy.
Kendall Milton in the backfield, play fake. Mathis going to air it out long. And he overshot everybody down around the 5-yard line. It was Demetrius Robertson who was the intended receiver.
You see Juwan Mathis right there. He goes, he knows, he missed it. He missed the open receiver. He had the tight end on the pop pass right away. He looked at the bench and said, I know, I missed him.
Oh, man.
And I went the other side, and that's guessing. You know, you haven't played a lot. You're looking for a big play, and instead of going through your progression, you go to the outside guy who's in one-on-one coverage, looks at the bench, and goes, I got it, I messed up.
And Darnell Washington's not easy to miss.
No,
the freshman tight end, 6'7". So now 3rd down and 4. Remember, one of those yards they gained was on the offside penalty.
10 players on the field for for Florida.
So they'll take a timeout with 5 minutes remaining 3rd quarter. Kirby Smart's going, I know what you thought you saw. That's not really what we were looking for. That's tomorrow on 60 Minutes.
I think if you're calling plays for Georgia right now, you got 2 downs to pick this up.
Well, Mathis flushed out of the pocket by Cox. Going to run for it. I don't know if he got there or not. We'll see where they mark it.
I think he's going to get it.
Could be. That'll be his 2nd first down run of this series. Had a 17-yarder earlier, and now he needed 4 and got there, put his left hand out with the ball. I think that's what got it for him.
He had to get out of there because Brenton Cox, number 1, took an inside rush and won on that play from Salyer. Against McClendon, I believe it was, number 70. I think it was 70 in the game there. Yes, it was. So he had to get out of the pocket, made something out of nothing. Did he get enough?
They still haven't moved.
No,
the
they
chains.
haven't. They haven't. Watch the inside rush right here by Cox. Spin inside. Got to get out of there. Good, elusive play. Now does he get enough for the first down? Well,
they're reviewing whether or not he got the first down.
No, they did not, did he? He did not. He brought the ball back before the line. Yes.
Here's another look. Kearis Jackson was out there trying to get a block for him, but he's out of bounds. And, yeah, he pulled up a yard shot.
Yes, he did. See, Marlon Dunlap was after him. He says, I can beat him, but there's another guy in front of me.
And here's the call from James Carter.
After review, the runner went out of bounds with the ball in his possession at the 48.5-yard line. It'll be short of the line to gain. 4th down.
So it's 4th down and less than 1.
And it's no decision, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Gotta go for it.
So they need about a half yard, couple feet. We're calling it 4th and inches. I'll go with that. I'll go with the truck. That's how much, as you look from the sticks and the chain gang and the 2 lines and Mathis in a shotgun. So this makes it a 6-yard gain just to get inches if you're going to go and play it this way to Zamir White or to the quarterback. It's the quarterback, and he got it this time. So actually ran about 7 yards to get a 1.5 feet.
Well, we all think back to that short yardage goal line stand a couple years ago. Remember when Florida had like 7 plays inside the 2-yard line? So you got to believe Georgia was working on their short yardage and goal line offense in anticipation of what they need, and they picked a play that worked.
4 minutes remaining in the quarter.
No hurry. Be methodical. Just put 1 touchdown on the board and go from there.
James Cook back in the backfield. Mathis pressure coming from behind. And he got away somehow. Oh, and then he got planted after a 1-yard gain by James Houston. Looked like the whole city of Houston the way he hit it.
Well, you're coming out. You know you're being chased. You don't know what's behind you. And Houston said, you're not faking me out. I've seen some of the best backs in the SEC, and I'm ready for you. And I zeroed it up. Perfect form tackle.
at the 44-yard line. Second down. Bench warning.
Sideline warning against Florida. That is their first warning of the game and will not have a penalty assessed. Second down.
And Dan Mullen saying, everybody back. We don't want another Missouri. As you look behind Juan Mathis, second down and 8. They switch the tight end. Washington. The give is to James Cook. Looking for a block from his quarterback if he doesn't help hold somebody. And looks like they got the first down as we get a Papa John's update in New York. Here's the.
All right, Ness, 2 of the 3 teams atop the Big 12 with 1 conference loss. Both lost last week. Oklahoma State shut out in the first half. They were down 12-0, but Brennan Presley makes it a 12-10 game. Getting close. Back to you.
And flags fly as Georgia had a first down. And Justin Schaefer might have been a false start on the Dogs here.
False start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You got to have almost everything go right now if you're Georgia, and flags aren't going to help.
Not a heavily penalized game, though. Only the 5th of the game. 3 on Georgia and 2 on Florida the whole football game.
That's what Gary's talking about. 2 on one side, 3 on the other. First and 15 at the 39. Corner blitz coming. Milton on a handoff straight up the middle. And Milton's got it down around the 20-yard line and a Georgia first down, and he might be hurt at the end of that play.
Well, they gashed him. They had the right play on. You're bringing the slot blitz from the field. All you got to do is get 1 crease. Remember, there's 1 less safety back there. And this time, good job by Ben Cleveland, 74. Just rooted his man out, and Milton runs right behind the right guard's block.
And you see, kind of did the splits when he tried to stretch it out, being tackled. And once he got up, he went down in a hurry.
Yeah, that left leg.
Picked up 19 yards on the carry. Working on the left leg of Kendall Milton, the freshman. Man, had too many guys down today, that's for sure. Kendall Milton helped off the field after that first down run. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later, the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Another look at the end of the run by Kendall Milton, the true freshman out of California.
Remember, the blitz came from the field, good blocking up front, and decent tackling. He got twisted, didn't he? Just got twisted. Oh, man.
Way too many injuries on both sides of the football in this heated rivalry.
In a very clean game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's, you know, there's...
So it's first down at the 22 is where they spot it. Four first downs on this drive, a couple by the Georgia quarterback.
Got a good matchup down here. Big receiver against the linebacker.
James Cook for a couple to the 20. And the clock's going to work its way down around a minute and a half. Stetson Bennett, if you're just joining us, started the game. Was roughed up a little bit, went to the locker room, came back, threw a couple more good passes, but ended up only 5 out of 16. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and thus is the reason Juan Mathis is in there playing quarterback.
So the question is, can they run it all the way in, or are they going to have to throw a little bit more? Remember, they got the quarterback run as well as part of their package with Mathis.
And he dropped the ball on the snap, so he's got to cover it. And a big loss back outside the 25.
Second drop by the Georgia quarterback in the game. Stetson Bennett dropped one early. And that one, perfect snap. Trey Hill's had some struggles, but those two, one earlier and that one, were perfect.
Looked like in that picture, and it was a great shot, but he took his eye, just looked to the right a little bit, and he dropped the ball. And now it's third down and what they didn't want, 14. And so far on third down at 8+, they're 0 for. 2-down territory here, I would think, anyway. So get some of it back. Mathis. Or get all of it. And he got it. Touchdown, Georgia. Kearis Jackson.
Well, Florida was trying to disguise so much they ran right out of the coverage. Watch the disguise, and when he bails, he actually opens up the area behind him. And that's the throw right into the middle of the field. You're trying to fake the quarterback so much, you end up making a mistake. Sean Davis just a little bit too much to the quarterback and opens it up for an easy throw. By the way, the offensive line gave Mathis plenty of time to step into that throw.
Todd Leslie's extra point is good. An 80-yard drive for Georgia. Just what they needed to inch back into the game. And with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter, DeJuan Mathis has his first touchdown pass of the year to cap an 80-yard drive in 12 plays. And you get another look on a 3rd and 13, and here it comes.
Look at how he's able to ride up in the pocket. Nobody's at his feet, nobody's in his face, and a wide open receiver. You can't have a better one than that on 3rd and long if you're a quarterback.
Cuts the lead to 41-28. Stetson Bennett talking to DeJuan, who went 2 out of 3 on that drive and his first career touchdown. So Kearis Jackson.
So DeJuan Mathis has come through. He kept the ball, made a couple first downs with his leg. Offensive line, nice blocking for the running back, and then great blocking on that pass. Can the defense get another stop? Remember, the last time he stopped him, he did it with pressure, too. Are they going to start blitzing more?
They got a sack. They had a throw that was a little off balance from Trask. See if that's the remedy again on this defensive series coming up. But Arias Toney backpedals his way back to the goal line, awaiting the kick from Jake Camarda. Kearis Jackson, by the way, second touchdown catch of the year for Kearis. He's been whatever quarterbacks in there for Georgia's favorite receiver.
No, these numbers sometimes look ugly when one's a 4 and one's a 2, but it's 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you can't get down right here.
And Camarda blasts this one out of the back of the end zone, so Florida will come out to the 25. It'll give us a chance to remind you next Saturday, following live coverage of the Masters, an early evening showdown from Baton Rouge. Number 2 Alabama back in action against LSU. We'll kick it off at 5 Eastern with the drive to Atlanta and State Farm College football today. Next Saturday, the SEC is on CBS. My partner will be paying absolutely no attention to the pregame festivities.
Not on Saturday, just a little bit.
A little bit. Sunday, you're all day from 10 o'clock on. Trask lofts it out, and again, out of the backfield, they're going to get an easy one for 11.
Those free releases are really driving this Georgia defense nuts. Instead of the running back checking for a blitz, he just goes. And if Trask sees an opening, he lets them have it. I can't believe that's not a bust. I mean, when you got a running back coming out that early, 10 yards of field in front of him, someone made a mistake.
Major Burns, the guy that was in on the tackle, is down.
And that'll be the 3rd safety out of the game.
Georgia is about out of safeties. LeCount not out here because of the dirt bike incident. Scene, who went out with a targeting foul. Now the guy that comes in to take his spot gets out there trying to make the hit on Naquan Wright and still hasn't gotten up. Collided with the left shoulder of Wright on his shoulder or the side of his head. With 32 seconds remaining, it's going to be a long walk back to the other sideline.
And now if you're Dan Mullen, do you just run out the 32 seconds and take it to the 4th quarter and say, okay, we'll buy it every time we can? And it does look like they're going to do that. Trask is waving them over and said, we're going to start the 4th quarter.
Most passing yards ever against Georgia. And he already has 25 completions. His career high is 30. He's not done throwing it, I can guarantee you that. And he's about, I think, about 5 yards shy of his career high as far as yardage.
You know, one of the things that was impressive about Joe Burrow last year was when teams made a run at him, Joe would always answer.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so now let's see if Kyle Trask, you know, they're making a little run at you. You know, they put points. If you put a touchdown up here, that might be enough in this football game. And we'll go to the fourth quarter.
Right now, Trask is 5 yards shy of his career high passing yardage total. And if you're just joining us, he's thrown 4 touchdown passes. And the third quarter has come to a close. The high-powered Gator offense has been too much for Georgia so far. The Dogs did have an answer, though, to make it 41-28 at the end of 3. We'll return to Jacksonville right after this message and a word from your local station. The Home Depot SEC on CBS heads into quarter number 4 in Jacksonville. And the Florida Gators have it under control right now, but we still got 15 minutes left. And Georgia scored the last time they had it, 41-28. Florida starts things off from their own 35-yard line. Trask looking for more. That should put him at a career high in passing yardage and another first down. So the Gators just keep rolling, Gary, and it doesn't look like Georgia can stop them, and that's what they need right now.
Yeah, and you know, coming into this game, Florida led the SEC in possessions. When they get the ball, they've been scoring 2 out of every 3 times. They've had 10 possessions. They're right on that mark. They scored 7 times. Georgia's been good all year, but not against this offense.
They can't get them off the field. Nope. They won't get another chance offensively.
Georgia's been the best in the league at stopping teams from scoring, but not tonight.
Emory Jones in at quarterback now for Florida, but they keep it on the ground. And they go with Naquan Wright again. And he's got it to midfield. Trask looking around saying, what did I do wrong?
Don't want you to get a sore arm.
So Emory Jones stays in there. As Gary said earlier, don't be surprised if they let him rip one here.
They love to run the no backfield quarterback draw play action pass, but they're going to load the backfield now from the motion.
Wright comes back in there with him. Here comes the quarterback draw that Gary just talked about, and it's another first down. Got it to the 41.
I'm sure Dan Mullen has about 85 Nick Fitzgerald runs that he used at Mississippi State that he could use at any time. Lead back, pulling around, and a first down.
Maybe even a couple of Dak Prescott runs as he looks at his sheets. Trask back in. Trask gets some pressure from the backside. This one is, well, his tight end intercepted it from Laquan Wright.
There's no other way to put it. He was throwing it to Wright.
Gamble goes, I'll take that thing.
And he did it one-handed too, right? They're doing the same play they've heard them all game. They fake to the running back, and Gamble, Wright goes, what are you doing?
Naquan's going, I can run this thing all the way down the sideline. The big tight end who came in for Kyle Pitts and has a touchdown of his own. He's got to laugh about it, too.
They've run that play 5 times, and why would you not keep running it? It's worked every time.
Trask just keep piling up yardage. 4:35 now. And a first down at the 28. Right. Got to the 24. Now Trask is putting up Heisman numbers. As you look at his numbers coming in through the first 4 games. But remember, he's added 4 more touchdowns and let's see, 435 more yards.
They're starting to look better. They're starting to approach Tua and Burrow and everybody else that's throwing his high school quarterback, the guy he played behind, Derek King, had a game that, well, there's no way Kyle can match it. He might.
How about these 2 guys back-to-back nights,
right.
huh?
How about that high school team?
Jeez.
Kyle didn't even get to start playing behind Derek King.
Second down at 6.
No, nice stop there.
That time. We check in with Jamie.
Well, I asked Kyle this week what it feels like to see his name in the headlines with, Heisman lists, and he said, I really try to ignore it. I do, as long as I play the way I need to get Florida to a national championship, which is the team goal. He says, I just try to take care of business for that end, and maybe the other one will come to light.
When we've talked to him, he's so unassuming and quiet, but he has showed more fire and emotion on the sideline today, and why not? Beating your rival in the East, maybe punching your ticket to Atlanta for the SEC championship and playing the way he has every right.
Oh, he missed him. He threw it right into the blitz there and missed him, Ness.
Justin Shorter, the intended receiver. That
Yeah,
was
look at him. He's going, it was me. He knew what he had. He knows the blitz is coming right off the edge. He's got the outside player. He's got a first down, and he sails it.
Even when he let it go, he jumped up in the air as if to say, oh. Well,
I think it was Jamie's fault talking about the Heisman.
it probably was. He tried not to think about it until Jamie mentioned it. Well, this guy's been good from 50 and 51. This should be a chip shot from 45.
Might be a little bit different wind here that he's kicking into.
From left hash. 4 minutes into the third quarter. McPherson from 44. Look at this. Prognosticator.
Yes,
he missed it. Missed it from 44.
That's a big field goal, too. Would have made it a 16-point game. Now it's still reachable.
Well, he had 2 of 50 plus, but this one from a little different spot tried to steer it in and no good. Georgia and Florida, the Gators with a 41-28 lead as we took a look at our game recap, and it started the fireworks on play number 1. Zamir White, opening snap, 75 yards on the first play for a Georgia touchdown. They added another to make it 14-0, but back comes Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, and then Pitts just kept going. 4 touchdowns in the first half. He's got a career high in passing right now, but he missed on his last throw, and that led to a missed field goal by McPherson, and it gives Georgia the ball back. There's the big numbers by the offensive players for the Gators, but Georgia's got it back, trailing by 13.
Can they stay patient? We'll see.
Juan Mathis fakes the pitch. Going to go down the sideline, and he missed his tight end, who had a head of steam and a lot of green in front of him.
Another opportunity. That's probably the 3rd big play Georgia has missed, maybe even 4th if you count Mathis missing the tight end down the middle when he threw to the wrong guy. Here's the wheel route. Wide open.
Oh, man, McKinney had 15 more yards in front of him at least. And Juan knows it. Says, my bad, but it's 2nd down and 10.
There's been about 3 of those my bads, maybe 5 if you count the drops.
Yeah. They went 80 yards the last time. They'll keep it on the ground as Zamir White. But since that opening snap, it's been tough sledding for Zamir. Got about 1.5 yards there.
So here we go. Last time on 3rd down, they succeeded. What do they pull off here? No hiding the quarterback on 3rd and long here. Grantham has been the defensive coordinator for Florida, has been very conservative. Will he dial up a blitz here?
And he normally does on 3rd down. Over the years that we've known Todd, we'll see right here. Empty backfield. Unless it's a quarterback draw, a throw is coming from Juan Mathis. Pressure's coming too, and he slips and goes down on his own.
And the fresh guy made the play, Zachary Carter, number 17. He doesn't get to play the first half, but now he's got those fresh legs. Watch him right here. Watch him force Mathis up in the pocket. He beats Cleveland cleanly. Forces him up in the pocket, and he takes the sack.
And we had some heavy showers earlier in the first half, so I'm sure the footing is not the greatest, but he went down on his own there, so Camarda punt. And another below average punt from Jake Camarda.
Yeah, another sideways one.
Remember, he had a 23-yarder that ended up leading to points before halftime for Florida, and that's after he bombed one earlier in the game. So his last 2 haven't been very good. It isn't looking very good for Georgia right now with 9.5 to go. 9:28 remaining. If you take a look in on the city of Jacksonville, the home to this rivalry since 1933, and our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Pretty night in Jacksonville. It's going to be a more fun night for the Florida fans if they hold this lead of 41-28 right now.
And I think both sides understand right now where they're at. If you're Florida and you're Kyle Trask, you know we put a touchdown and this game is over. Georgia says we need another stop. We got to let our offense get on the field, only down 13 points.
And haven't scored on the last 2 drives, and Georgia's defense has got to try to force things again. It's Pierce, broke 1 tackle, broke a second, and he's going to get run down after a gain of 2.
Good pursuit by that Georgia defense. You run through a couple, but there's always another guy. 1 miss, 2 miss, almost a face mask, but right at the end, cleaned up for the tackle by Christopher Smith.
Yeah, Chris might have got a little hand in the face mask too, but he did bring him down. He's the guy playing for Richard LeCount, who's out with the injury after the dirt bike accident last week following the game against Kentucky.
I do have to say it's a different offense without Kyle Pitts out there. Much easier to defend.
Here comes a blitz from the secondary. Trask throws behind Tony. And Tony points at his chest as if to say, I ran the wrong route, or I should have sat down where you threw it. So that stops the clock. 8:45 and a 3rd down and 8. So here's Georgia's biggest defensive play of the game so far. See if Georgia can force a punt.
Well, they bring pressure again. They've been bringing pressure a lot, and it's been working in the second half.
And Shorter in motion to the top of the screen. Trask is looking that way, throwing that way, and incomplete. Intended for Trayvon Grimes. And it is 4th down.
Tried the same type of a play, type of a wheel route. Eric Stokes coming off. Inside player, the slot, tries to run a wheel, and Stokes is with him the whole way. Great defense.
Stokes, who had his 3rd interception of the season, a pick 6 that had Georgia in front at one point in this first half. Nice play there.
Still a football game. This Georgia defense has stepped up in the second half. They're giving their offense another chance.
Remember, Kearis Jackson had a 57-yard kickoff return earlier in the game. He'd like to get his hands on a punt return here. I think this one's going to be too high. Has to take the fair catch around the 9, maybe the 8. So a long way to go for Georgia. But there's still 8:34 to play. DeJuan Mathis and the Bulldog offense back out there when we come back. If Georgia could find any football magic right now, would be the time to come up with it. They start their own 9-yard line.
Yeah, no, so Florida has to be very careful not to go into a prevent defense. There's too much time. It doesn't mean you have to be blitzing and aggressive, but you just can't go into the bail technique and give Georgia easy throws. And if you're Georgia, are you calling plays as if it's 4-down territory unless it's 4th and real long?
2 tight ends. McKinney, one of those switches from the slot over to the right on 1st down. Play action to White. Long ball coming up for...
It just dropped out of the air, didn't it?
Matt Landers turned around and looked, and it dropped behind him about 5 yards.
It did.
That thing looked like it caught a jet stream or something. That was weird.
I thought he had a pretty good angle on the throw, and Landers overran it by 15 yards. I don't know if he even saw it. Do you?
I don't think he could find it. We're 2nd down and 10. Juan Mathis put in a tough spot.
This Georgia offensive line is also in a tough spot. They know they have to give a good pocket to Mathis.
Draw play. Zamir White has one big one already. And this one busts it out to a 1st down for the Dogs.
I thought Ventrell Miller, 51, he faked the blitz inside, and I thought he had it all over. He put the wrong hole, and then Trey Hill comes out and feeds off on the late block.
1st down run, and now Mathis on 1st down. One hops it, intended for Darnell Washington.
Guess who's fresh again in this face?
Carter. You don't play a whole half, you get kind of hungry.
No, he's going to say, Coach, you know, I think I like this taking the first half off stuff.
Again,
this is working for me.
Yeah. One of the guys that was suspended for the first half of this game because of the altercation and taking a couple of swings in the Missouri game last week at halftime. And the league kept him out of this game.
2nd down last time they went with draw. What do they try to pick up 4 or 5 yards here?
Mathis gonna go deep. Got a man out there. Oh, Demetrius Robertson had his fingertips on it, and that's all.
Well, he's got plenty of arm, doesn't he? Mathis, he saw Robinson late, threw a pretty good ball. This one did not drop out of the air. This one kept going. He threw to the right man down the middle. No help or late help at the best.
We went from the 20 to the 25 on the other end, and just off the fingertips of Demetrius Roberts.
And almost flat-footed. Took a half step, but he knew he was going to get hit. That's a pretty nice throw.
3rd down and 10 at the 8-minute mark. They've only converted 1/3 and long today. And is Georgia taking a timeout?
I think it might be the other way around. Was it Florida that took a timeout or Georgia?
Looks like Florida.
Yeah.
So that'll give Kirby Smart a chance to talk things over with his quarterback. Likewise, Dan Mullen with a 13-point lead will do the same on his side of the field. Coming up after our game, Adam, Rook, and BJ will have the day's best highlights on the college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Right now, the Gators only 8 minutes away from a big win for Dan Mullen. We talked about the suspension of Zach Carter's playing really well in the first half, and that Dan was fined $25,000 for his involvement in the Missouri thing last week. And he said, you know, it's regrettable. It's not who I am. And then I think Jamie asked him, what effect did it have on your team? He said, I don't know that it had any effect. And he thought about it for a second. He said, you know, the second half of that game and all this week in practice, we've had a little edge to us. Maybe it was a wake-up call.
That's a nice spin on it. I got to say that. He may be right, though. They've played good football since then.
I've seen a lot of basketball coaches get a technical on purpose.
Yeah, I don't think this was on purpose. I kind of thought he lost it there.
The whole Darth Gator thing?
Yeah.
3rd down and 10. Mathis, deep middle, into traffic, broken up. Intended for Matt Landers. Incomplete.
So what do? You got a lot, still 8 minutes to go in the game. Your quarterbacks, both of your quarterbacks are now 7 for 24 in the game. I think you got to punt, force this Florida team to see if they can run the ball, take some clock off, and force them to punt one more time. You need one more 3 and out and see if you got one more chance to get back in the game.
Jake Camarda came in with being the #1 punter in the SEC, and his last 2 were 23 and 32. If he's ever going to blast one like he did earlier at 63, now would maybe be the time to do it.
And he did. Nice one.
And fair catch at the 26 by Tony. With 7:52 remaining in the ball game, the Gators have the ball back and a 13-point lead. Big game tonight. Clemson without Trevor Lawrence. They put a 28-game ACC winning streak on the line. Notre Dame's got the longest active streak in the nation right now. Speaking of 28-game winning streaks, weren't you and I involved in one of the longest winning streaks in ACC history that is celebrating its 25th anniversary this
Florida
weekend?
State, Virginia, right?
Yeah. Warwick Dunn came up just a little bit short in Virginia at home, picked off the Seminoles of Florida State, who I think had won 33 in a row at that time. I don't remember.
I think we've done a lot of games, so there's a possibility we did everything.
Here's Trask in trouble, got a little pressure on him again, but he still finds his receiver.
Yep.
And it's Malik Davis out of the backfield again.
How about these running backs for Florida? It's been the story of the game, really. I mean, now that Kyle Pitts is out there, even another wheel route for the running back. That's got to be 7 of these, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gee.
That time Nakobe Dean tried to stay with number 20 and just...
He had one earlier.
He was late.
Remember when he had one earlier on the pass and he made the shoe tackle from behind? He goes like, I don't remember this offense. When did I start doing this? In the linebacker position.
Kyle Trask is saying, I've been doing this all year.
And I do like the way they're coming back here. We got this lead by throwing it. We got a good quarterback. Let's trust him. Take the clock down as long as we go, and let's move the ball and put this thing away.
Take it down to 2 seconds. Trask comes up, getting ready to throw it. Oh, and almost picked off by Webb. Absolutely. It might have been a touchdown.
He double clutched it and allowed Webb to sneak in there. That easily could have been a pick 6.
Wow.
So you got to trust your quarterback. When he double clutches it, he knows as soon as he throws it, he goes, oh my goodness. And Webb, and he's not even, nobody's going to touch him into the end zone on that play.
So 7 minutes, and those two Georgia fans know that that might have been just what the Dogs ordered to even think about getting back in this game.
My goodness. Hang in there. You never know if you're Georgia.
Trask under center for one of the few times. And they keep it on the ground to Davis, and he stood up But maybe a yard gain. It's 3rd down and long.
I think Dan Mullen goes, Kyle, I know you're really good, but so far I've looked at their quarterbacks and we're running the ball right now. We're not giving you another chance to throw a pick.
Well, he's got a career high day going, a 453 right now. They have 86 yards on the ground. It looks like that stat of who has the most rushing yards isn't going to matter today after 14 straight years. Even though Georgia had one long run by Zamir White, who has 106 yards on 7 carries.
4-man rush, playing combo coverage behind it. 4 on 3 at the top, 3 on 2 on the bottom.
Georgia's got to have a stop on 3rd and 9. They got some pressure again. Trask throws and completes it to Tony, and he's still going. Kadarius Toney, his biggest play of the day.
I think so. And it's going to take, unless Georgia uses their timeouts, it's going to take another almost 2.5 minutes off the game. Good protection. Good job by Trask getting out. And then Tony reaches up, makes the play.
21-yard pickup for number 1, who's so dangerous in the open field.
Once he caught it, the rest didn't really matter.
That's right. His 8th catch, but the biggest one so far right there. First down at the 34. As we'll work our way under 5.5 minutes before the next snap.
They're going to run the ball here too.
Davis might have gotten a yard.
Got to start using your timeouts if you're Kirby Smart, and he did.
Here comes one.
Yep. If it was 1 touchdown, you might wait a little longer, but 2 touchdowns, you got to use them right now.
So Georgia comes in having given up only 16 points a game, number 1 in the SEC, number 1 in overall defense, giving up just over 300 yards a game. And just Kyle Trask alone has 474 through the air. So this is the inside track for the Gators to make it to Atlanta to play the West champion. For Georgia, this is what they've got coming up.
Yeah, and this is going to be the tough part for, if you're a Georgia fan, you're going, listen, we're going to beat the rest of the teams we play here. We're
going to be favored.
You're going to be favored, and if you're a Georgia fan, you're saying, we've got a ticket to Atlanta. All we had to do was beat Florida. They still got a slight chance, but that schedule was awful appetizing for the Georgia fan.
Yeah, it sure was. Meanwhile, Florida's going to be going to 4-1 unless something drastic happens in the next 5 minutes. Trask almost threw an interception again. Copeland was the intended receiver.
Tried to go to the back coming out of the backfield, but this time the Georgia knocked him out of the way. Watch him as he comes out. Malik Davis gets taken out of the play by Jermaine Johnson. So he comes to his next receiver and almost sticks it into coverage. They were going to throw a safe pass, but Jermaine Johnson made it into a dangerous throw.
Here's 3rd down and long again. Look out for Davis, who's with him in the backfield. It's been one of his main targets today. And they're just going to give it to Davis. He'll get it inside the 30 to the 28. It's 4th down there.
Florida will go field goal.
Georgia take the second time out.
He did.
Down to 1 for Kirby Smart. Kirby was 3-1 coming in against Florida. Here's what Florida has left.
Yeah, very similar story. They've got that LSU makeup game at the end of the year, but that at Tennessee is an interesting game, isn't it? Now they're going to be favored. Kentucky will give them a battle, I think, is physical, but at Tennessee is an interesting football game. Tennessee could make their year knocking off Florida.
Arkansas has been maybe the surprise of the conference. Vandy, Kentucky, Tennessee, and McPherson, who missed his last attempt from 44, itching for another opportunity here to make up for that miss. There's the 2 quarterbacks, the one on the left who started, the one on the right who came in to take a spot and played pretty well so far. but not good enough when you got two guys that are 7 out of 24 for a little over 100 yards, and the other guy is 30 of 42 for 474 yards and 4 touchdowns. You got a good quarterback, you got a good chance. And Florida's got a good quarterback.
Well, they're going to keep him on the field. They're going to try to draw him off sides, I wonder. Or are they just going to try to pick it up?
4th down and 4. They empty the backfield. They are going to go for it. Trask hit as he throws. Incomplete.
Interesting.
Azeez Ojulari got in there and caused the throw, and then Tyreek Stevenson was close on the other end of that.
I'll tell you this. Good blitz coverage. It wasn't a complicated blitz. That's really the Mike linebacker. Should be handled by the offensive line. It was not sorted out well. Monty Rice is in there. But I will say this. Without Kyle Pitts on the field, this Florida team's a different football team.
Remember, he was on the receiving end of a targeting in the first half. Did not return. Has not returned. Hopefully he'll be back for their next game. And now here's Georgia with 5:06, 1 timeout, trailing by 13, then 2 scores. And 5:06 left. Draw play, James Cook.
Anytime Florida holds Georgia short of a first down, it's a win for the defense.
This is when Georgia's got to regroup now and hustle a little line. Before they had a little more time, not so much anymore. Mathis trying to run away from the pressure and ends up running out of bounds. Run out by Kyrie Campbell.
I think he was trying to get the ball to James Cook, and James Cook never turned around and looked for it on that play. Cook was trying to go. Watch Cook come out of the backfield right there and just keeps going. Well, he does look. He's right, but it was too late. Mathis was already coming out of the backfield. My mistake.
Cook is one of those guys that can really make something happen in the open field if he gets his hands on it. We've seen that through the first 5 games of the Georgia season. And he's with Mathis in the backfield here on 3rd down and 8.
Oh, he comes after him.
Deep ball sideline. Overshot Landers again.
Well, they're going to go for it.
This might be the last time they touch it offensively if they don't go on 4th and 8.
Well, Todd Grantham said, I play that other stuff. I'm coming after you. Just can't do it. I just can't do it.
Just saw the ball sail over Todd's head over there on the sideline. All right. Here's Georgia's maybe last chance.
Inside technique at the top, man-to-man coverage.
3 receivers to the left. Mathis flushed, has to just throw off his back foot and hope for a prayer, and he ended up throwing an interception to Sean Davis. And Davis coming back the other way. Davis weaving through traffic inside the 20. And with all the offense Florida's had through the year, their defense might have just iced things against the Bulldogs.
Well, Todd Grantham on 3rd and 4th down brought pressure. He went man-to-man coverage. He goes, guys, we're either going to cover them or we're going to lose. So they man up all over, pressure inside. Mathis has no choice but to just try to lob it up. Can't take a sack on 4th down, and he finds number 6 for Florida.
And Sean Davis, who didn't play a week ago, has his first interception of the season. And with just 3 and change remaining. Georgia quarterback. As Kirby's still coaching him up, whether it's the starter or the backup.
The Georgia quarterback has been the position for 3 years around here. Ever since Justin Fields signed at Georgia, the whole process with Jake Fromm, and then Justin leaves, and he's done pretty good, and that shadow is still over the quarterback play of this football team.
So if you compare all 3, obviously the fans for Florida know what we're going to put up on the screen right now.
It's tough.
Well, the chop is starting, and here's what it looked like. A career high for Kyle Trask, and another 4-touchdown game. 5th game in a row he's done that. Each Georgia quarterback threw a touchdown, but...
And obviously the transfer from USC, JT Daniels, is not ready, or he would be given a chance to play. And his knee surgery just over a year ago has not allowed him to be 100%.
Tim Tebow sitting at home right now going, don't let him throw that.
I got a feeling Tim Tebow is never sitting at home. Do you think that he's always got something to do? Tim does not waste a lot of time.
Career high in completions, by the way, too, for Kyle Trask. 30, he just hit it. Right now under center for one of the few times. Handoff to Kadarius Toney on an end around. He got a yard. Monty Rice wrestles him to the ground. And Georgia can't stop it anymore. So the Gators are going to go to their ground game. This will be the first time in 3 years. First time in 4 years, actually, that Georgia hasn't won this game. And if Florida holds serve, if you will, we'll have a different champion from the East playing in Atlanta on December 19th in the SEC championship game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
They'd have to lose 2, right?
Yep.
And Georgia would have to win the rest.
Possible, but really not that likely as far as...
Well, that'd be a huge upset. Florida lose 2 games.
Yeah. Playing as well as they are offensively, and the defense isn't that bad now either. Starting to come around.
I will say this. You remember the start of the year, yes, we do that Mississippi State LSU game, and then Arkansas, and wins a game, and we're going, wow, parity is back. And parity is not back in the SEC.
No, not really.
Same teams, same guys.
But in this case, maybe a different East against, if everything holds, Alabama.
Right, but it's
But if it gets to that, how about the quarterback matchup we would have?
Wow, that would be fun.
We might be there 4.5 hours, but it's not a long ride home for some. 3rd and 6. Pierce runs into the Georgia wall defensively. He got to the 10-yard line. And giving Florida the win. They'll go to the head of the class at 4-1. Georgia falls to 4-2.
And remember, as you look at that, for Georgia, the only measurement now, and you live around her, right? The only measurement now is national championship, right? Yeah. Anything less than that, and that's where the program is right now, and that's how they're measured.
Ever since the second half of the Alabama game, all the talk around Georgia was, we'll get them again, and we'll have another crack at them in the SEC title game, and that probably is not going to happen now. And 2 losses doesn't put you in the picture. Maybe in this weird year it could somehow, but 2 losses and you're usually not going to be involved in the national championship picture or the SEC title game. So Florida is about ready to go to 4-1. And we hope all the guys that were injured in today's game come out of this all right. We know one of them will not be. And that's the Georgia wide receiver that caught the touchdown pass.
I don't want to put it all on the quarterback, though, Ness. In the last 3 big games that Georgia's played, the 2018 SEC championship game, 35 points Alabama scored. The 2019 championship game, LSU scored 37. Then they lost to Bama, 41 points. And then tonight, again, they've given up 41. Their defense in these big games, these 4 big games, have given up 38 points a game.
That's right. You can talk all the statistics you want, but when it counted, they didn't shut anybody they needed to down. 34-yard field goal by McPherson. Trying to give him a little more confidence back after just missing one earlier. He hit from 50 and 51 earlier in the ball game. And now his hit from 34. With 1:19 to go. (44-28) gives us a chance right now following the field goal to give you the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Here's one of many impressive plays From Trask, Kyle to Kyle. Kyle to Kyle Pitts. Nick Hubert with his call on the Florida Radio Network.
Ball's on the right hash. The snap to Trask. Trask dropping back to throw. Rainbows it down the right side for Kyle Pitts. He's got it. He's there. Touchdown. Oh, my. Kyle Pitts. Touchdown right sideline. It's 21-20.
So there's Mix Oh My at the end of that one, and oh my, it's been quite a game for Kyle Trask again. Boy, we watch Mac Jones. We see Trevor Lawrence have a hot start before missing a couple of games with the COVID. Talk about quarterbacks. This guy and Mac are having a heck of a season in the SEC.
Remember, Kyle Trask was not a highly recruited player. Doug Nussmeier, former offensive coordinator at Florida, had him in a camp, liked him, said, I think he can play. One of those project quarterbacks, you get him in there, and what Kyle did is went to work. You know, when he didn't start his first couple of years, he just kept working to get better, and when he got his shot, he was ready.
And when he got his first start, we were there. As we kidded him. We didn't kid him, but he didn't start in high school behind the Eric King, so he said, yeah, I haven't started, so what? He kind of laissez-faire about everything, and now he is putting up huge numbers in this Florida offense. And you can see he is the leader of the team. And the Georgia fans have a longer ride home than a lot of the Florida Gator backers. They knew that they had to slow down a high-powered offense, and they just didn't have enough to do it today. Mathis again flushed out of the pocket, caught by James Cook on a deflection.
It was like the third bounce, wasn't it?
Yeah. Elam had his hands on it.
He did.
That one was just coming to him, but Cook got a hand to tip it.
Then Elam, and then he bats it back to Cook.
Okay, here you go. I'll tip it back to you. They play volleyball there for a second.
What? No.
Nope.
Yo.
Oh, no.
What?
First down. Nope, not first down. Pick up a 4. Throw short to Cook. Nice open field tackle by James Cook. Trevez Johnson, the freshman, back there getting some playing time, true freshman. Georgia out of timeouts. 3rd down and 5 with 47 seconds remaining. Mathis in trouble, and down he goes. And the Florida defense, and now Kyle Trask, who's just done this most of the game, trying to fire up the Florida fans who have not left here. The Georgia fans not so much, but these guys are having fun. Of the about 9,000 tickets that each team got today, at least we had noise both ways, something we haven't really had.
And you had the feeling season. Also, if not this year, when, right? With the quarterback problems that Georgia was having.
Mathis fires. This one is intercepted. And that'll ice it as Amari Burney, the outside linebacker, picks it off. And just about the whole Florida bench comes out there to congratulate him. You saw Kyle Trask grab his helmet as if to say, I want to take this last snap and kneel down. And that's what he will do.
He deserves it.
He sure does.
4th down interception, 2 of them by Mathis, just letting it go, trying to take a gamble, and those are tough to complete.
So now he says, okay, where's my headgear? Todd Grantham gets a bucket. Defensive coordinator, who was defensive coordinator at Georgia for 3 years. And there it is. The streak is stopped at 3 as Dan Mullen gets a big win over Georgia. I don't know if you can call it an upset just because of the rankings. Number 8 beats number 5, 44-28. Good ball game. There's Kirby Smart, Dan Mullen at midfield.
Well, especially the way it started, 14-0.
Yeah.
Come back like that. You know, I mean, we thought for sure Georgia had the head start, and would there be enough to come back? And as we said many times, modern college football, you got a quarterback, you're never out of it.
Georgia's last best chance was the interception by Stokes that he returned for the touchdown. But from that point on, it was pretty much number 11 and his teammates. And the Gators go to 4-1. And as we showed you the standings, Georgia falling to 4-2. And the Gator faithful loving it here in Jacksonville. So whether it was the 98th reunion of the series or the 99th, depends on which school you ask. They'll remember 2020 in Gainesville for a while. Kyle Trask came in, 4 touchdowns in 4 straight games. So what do you think he did? He threw 4 more and a career high 474 yards through the air, and he mixed it up to just about everybody on his offensive set, and he's with Jamie down in the field.
And he's celebrating. He is celebrating, rightfully so. Kyle, 3 years you watched Georgia take the SEC East from you in this game. You and I talked about allowing the meaning behind this game take control of you emotionally. How did this game feel to you today?
It felt amazing. I mean, just, I think we can play with anybody. We got so many weapons. We speak it into existence. We said it's going to happen all week. We came out, we executed, and we got the victory. 5
games in a row you've thrown for 4+ touchdowns. Does that sound like a Heisman Trophy winner to you?
Hey, I'm just trying to do what I can for this team. That's just a representation of, how well and efficient this offense is working. Our linemen are blocking their tails off. Our wide receivers are getting wide open for me. So, I'm just doing what I can to execute.
Was it a challenging day to have to run this offense without Kyle Pitts in the second half?
Like I said before, we have so many weapons. It's really tough on defenses for matchups, but we just came out, a great team win. We just, came out, executed, and got the job done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Trask.
Sure did. Kept his head about him and didn't take any of the bait. Just move forward and win another game, right?
Yep. And a big one it is. Puts him in the driver's seat to win the East and head to Atlanta in late December against the winner of the West. 44-28 the final. That's going to wrap it up. For Garrett Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long. Final score, 8th ranked Florida 44, number 5 Georgia 28. College football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage coming up after these messages. So long and good night from Jacksonville.